Had two damn screens open, y'all. Sorry. Thumbs up for your work. You're working. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Yep. Up. It's explains to where we try what's going on. If you ask me, girl, it's a little bit too much going on, baby. But you know what? My name is Bennett, bitch, and I ain't motherfucking in it. So it is what it is, baby. But it is a little bit too much going the hell on, baby. It's a little bit too much going on, honey. 2025 is going to be explosive, and to be honest, that ain't good news for me, honey. I need the age of Aquarius to go ahead and go into it. Still got this groove back mode to go into its soft girl era, girl, because the way that the last 10 years done left all type of Barty B knots upside our damn head, girl. I don't know if I'm interested in being this knotted up, girl, for the next decade or so. I don't know if I'm interested in all the ruckus, baby. I'm gonna need the age of Aquarius girl to go into her soft bitch era, girl. It ain't this much anger in the world, baby. It ain't this motherfucking much vengeance in the world, girl. I'm not here for it, girl. I don't know whether y'all going to be seeing me as much on these content creating streets in 2025, girl, because, honey, I need all my edges, baby. And what 2025 not going to do is be stressing me and my homegirls out. Okay, I'm in my soft girl era. Ain't nobody gonna be stressing me. Ain't nobody gonna be trying me, bitch. Ain't nobody gonna be on my nervous system. Ain't gonna be none of that, baby. Okay, because I don't give a damn, baby. Okay, y'all might not be protecting y'all peace, but I'm a damn sure protect every last piece of mine, baby. Because I'm the only nigga who don't work for every last single bit of it, baby. All right, T.D. Kruger, girl, said that he want all the smoke, girl. He about to line niggas up. Girl. We gonna talk about it, okay? I may or may not drop the link. I don't really know. But I did want to come through, girl, and get into the latest update regarding T.D Jakes and his old nasty piece of lawsuit against Duane Youngblood. Before we go ahead and push further, I need you guys to go ahead and thumbs up this video until it's absolutely stuck. Thumbing up not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. When you are thumbing up, girl, you are not only literally pumping up the algorithm, but you are sending out personal knocks on the goddamn doors of other Conscious crew members and telling them to get their arses into the sanctuary. Also, please make sure that you guys have your notification bell set for all. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your BGC, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you in fact lay the link, baby. Lay it on the ops platform. Just let them whores know. Let all them whores know, baby. We're live, and we are certainly in color. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on to
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let me go ahead and speak to all the conscious crew in the building. You guys, please thumbs up as you're coming into the sanctuary. The same fingers that you can use to scroll, the type messages to click on the live stream are the same fingers that work when it comes to thumbing up the video. So please hit that thumbs up on your way in, on your way in, on your way in. What's going on, Sherry? What's going on, Carolyn? Hey, Brown Mama. Hey, Auntie Deb. Hey, Star. Hey, Sandra. Hey, High Maintenance. What's going on, Coach Leslie? What's going on, Shayla? Hey, Red Hawk. What's going on, Topaz? What's going on, Mo Brown? Hey, boo, ain't seen you in a minute, love. Hey, what's going on, Bridget? What's going on, Comic? Hey, Bunny. Hey, y'all. All right, I don't want to keep y'all long, girl. You guys already know that Bishop T.D Jakes, girl, been outside. Child, he done bust out with an old nasty lawsuit against a nigga named Duane Youngblood, who is a registered sex offender and will be registering as one for the rest of his life for fondling and being sexually inappropriate and violating young men under the age of 18, child. All right, young men who trusted him as a pastor, as a spiritual leader, etc. Girl. And he done did all type of time. He done broken probation, done been put back in jail, out of damn prison, girl. And him and Kenneth Petty will share a registry for the rest of their lives, child. All right, it's a mess, child. All right, y'all already know that Duane Youngblood came forward, what, a month ago, 2 months ago, on Larry Reid Live's platform, girl, and caught himself, I don't know really what he caught himself doing. I'm still confused, baby. I'm still confused exactly. You know, I'm really not confused, but I'm still confused, girl, about what he really was trying to so-called expose about T.D Jakes. In a nutshell, girl, Duane came forward and alleged that while he was a grown-ass man, T.D Jakes, as a grown-ass man, tried to come on to him allegedly by giving him a hug and then attempting to lean down and kiss him after they had them sat down in some old ass living room and talked about both of their lives and God and spirituality and had this whole bromance moment for 3 and 2 hours, girl. And then he claimed that the next day after Jakes, as a grown man, attempted to allegedly kiss him as a grown man, that T.D Jakes caught his mammy's house where he was still living as a grown man, and pretty much came on to him full on and told him how he wanted to have sex with him and he wanted to be the only person that Duane was having sex with, and that he would practically take care of him monetarily for the rest of his life. Then he went on to say how T.D Jakes after that made him speak at his church. He still chose to go to the man's church and everything, child, was giving all type of eulogies and all type of damn speeches and all type of damn you know, New Testament sermons and things, child. And then he said he attempted to confront T.D Jakes on 6 or several different occasions, and ultimately the situation just ended up dissolving and T.D Jakes just ended up moving on because he just had better things to do. That is basically the situation in a nutshell, guys. Okay, Duane Youngblood came forward and said all of that about Jakes, and apparently now what we know is that Duane Youngblood also worked allegedly in orchestration with a very salacious attorney who is considered a legal clown in the court system by the name of Tyrone Blackburn. And Tyrone Blackburn reached out to Duane Youngblood, I believe, through one of Larry's TikTok videos or TikTok posts about this whole ordeal, claiming that Duane Youngblood had a case. I would really love to know what the fuck he think Youngblood had a case about, because they didn't even file the lawsuit for somebody who had such a case. Like, Tyrone Blackburn basically came out and exposed his own hand by claiming that this man had a case, but y'all didn't even file a case. T.D. Jakes is the one with the case. T.D. Jakes is the one who filed the actual case. Instead, what Tyrone Blackburn did is what he's notoriously known for doing, which is attaching himself to high-profile cases, getting involved, wasting the people that he claims he's representing's fucking time, really fucking up their case big time, and attempting to do all type of money grabs behind the scenes, which is exactly what T.D. Jakes cited in his lawsuit against Duane Youngblood, that him and his attorney did, was attempted to shake him down for $6 million. And there's all type of damn demand letters, all type of voicemails, all type of voice notes, all type of things, girl, to corroborate the fact that this man was trying to literally extort T.D. Jakes, okay? Now, T.D. Jakes, like every other businessman, these people deal with lawyers all the time. They know the difference, baby, between a demand letter and an attempt to mediate outside of the courts and an actual extortion attempt. It is not illegal to attempt to rectify a matter outside of the courts. However, it is illegal to extort, okay? And allegedly, attorneys like Gloria Allred, Lisa Bloom, Tyrone Blackburn, they are notorious for these type of shenanigans under the guise of litigating. All right. So lawsuit was filed. Now, you guys know that in the original lawsuit, Larry Reid's name was dropped all up and through the lawsuit, basically as a damn co-conspirator. Okay. But Larry was not listed as a co-defendant. All right. And in that original complaint, Jakes had alluded to considering amending his complaint to add possibly Larry Reid and whomever else he believes is a co-conspirator in this matter, along with Duane Youngblood. Well, T.D. Jakes is now seeking a expeditious discovery. He wants all the tea. He wants all the 411. Because, well, I'm going to get into my thoughts about what T.D. Jakes is doing. What's going on? Brains Tickle. Hey, y'all. Hey, Ian Gardner. Hey, Miss D's. What's going on? Y'all, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up as you guys are coming into the sanctuary. Let's pull up the old nasty piece of complaint, child, and get into the deets, child. All right. Where we at? Where we at? Hold on, I got so much shit put up on my damn laptop. It don't make no damn sense. Hold on. Let me see here. Let me find my stuff, child. Let me find my stuff. I got so much stuff put up on the computer, girl. What's going on, Nikki? Hey, boo. All right. Plaintiff briefed in support of motion for expedited discovery. Plaintiff Thomas Dexter Jakes hearing after plaintiff or Bishop Jakes buy-in through his undersigned counsel files this brief in support of plaintiff's motion for expedited discovery that is limited to two third-party subpoenas seeking solely documents. A subpoena to be served on an individual that commands production of documents over a narrow time frame, and B, related, a subpoena to be served on aforesaid individual's business that also commands production of documents over a narrow time frame. Plaintiff anticipates that these two third-party subpoenas would substantially reveal the identities of John Doe's in this case and thus enable this litigation to proceed more expeditiously and efficiently. For the reasons set forth below and in counsel's affidavit in support of the motion filed concurrently, herewith the court should grant plaintiff's motion for expedited discovery. Relevant factual and procedural background. On November 25th of 2024, plaintiff filed a complaint in this matter alleging that Duane Youngblood was liable for libel per se, and all defendants, including John Doe's 1 through 10, were liable for civil conspiracy to commit lie per se. Prior to insinuating this proceeding on November 22nd of 2024, counsel for plaintiff contacted the attorney Tyrone Blackburn that delivered a letter labeled as appearance letter, preservation notice, and offer of settlement, indicating that he represented Mr. Youngblood by telephone and left a voicemail to return the call. That call was never returned. Once the complaint was filed by email dated November 25th, counsel contacted attorney Blackburn to inquire whether he would accept service on behalf of his client. In response, we were unceremoniously told to proverbially pound sand and to serve Mr. Youngblood by December 4th of 2024. Efforts to serve Mr. Youngblood had been unsuccessful. Accordingly, in an email exchange dated December 4th of 2024 with attorney Blackburn, we inquired as to whether Mr. Blackburn had changed his position regarding waiver of service. In response, once again, attorney Blackburn refused to waive service, insisting that plaintiff serve Mr. Youngblood. Attorney Blackburn never stated whether he represented Mr. Youngblood for the purposes of this lawsuit. Subsequently, plaintiff was able to effectuate service on defendant Youngblood, and on December 9th of 2024, the clerk of the court noted that the summons had been returned executed by plaintiff and that defendant Youngblood was served late in the evening on December 4th of 2024. Defendant Youngblood's answer is due one day after Christmas, you guys, of this year. At this point, no attorney has filed a notice of appearance on behalf of defendant Youngblood, and Mr. Youngblood explicitly rejected an offer to accept more time to respond to the complaint. Plaintiff submits that based on the exchanges with attorney Blackburn and the absence of any notice of appearance in this litigation on behalf of defendant Youngblood, reasonably speaking, we do not have opposing counsel with whom we can confer on the subject of this motion, and we do not anticipate defendant Youngblood to provide information at this juncture that would resolve the subject of this motion. Given the criminal background of defendant Youngblood and on information and belief the prior background of his co-conspirators, we submit that there is a very real danger that the information plaintiff seeks to identify John Doe's and provide a proper factual articulation in an amended complaint will not be preserved long enough to be available through the normal discovery process. So T.D. Jakes is trying to convince the courts that Youngblood and his alleged co-conspirators are going to pretty much burn everything into goddamn flames by the time the normal discovery process comes through. They do not trust that necessary information, data, text messages, emails, all type of DM correspondences, all things that I'm sure they're going to attempt to subpoena are going to actually be preserved. So they're wanting shit to be expedited in the legal system so that they can pull everything they need in order to really set up their defense and set up the blood of their complaint against Duane and whomever all these damn John Does are going to be. Here, plaintiff asserts a prima facie claim for conspiracy to commit defamation. Plaintiff alleges that defendant Youngblood acted with others to publish and broadcast the false claim that Bishop Jakes groomed him and actually assaulted Youngblood on a podcast reaching over 100K persons, knowing that making such false claims on a podcast that reaches such a broad audience of listeners would harm Bishop Jakes. To writ, a person believed to be acting in concert with defendant Youngblood, that is the podcaster identified in the complaint as co-conspirator number 1, falsely claimed in sum and substance that Bishop Jakes had engaged in settlement discussions with Youngblood regarding his claims, thereby trying to give a patina of veracity to defendant Youngblood's accusations. No such settlement discussion ever took place. The first podcast occurred on October 28th of 2024. In an effort to maximize their efforts, they launched a second podcast on November 3rd of 2024, where they attempted to more clearly target the false claim of actual assault against Bishop Jakes by in sum and substance stating that Bishop Jakes restrained defendant Youngblood and forcibly kissed him, as opposed to the first podcast where defendant Youngblood. Hold on, y'all. I'm live. I'm working. I'll call you back. Okay. Goodbye. By sum and substance stating that Bishop Jakes restrained defendant Youngblood and forcibly kissed him, as opposed to the first podcast where defendant Youngblood alleges that they embraced at the end of the hours-long, wide-ranging conversation about faith and life and parents. Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody coming in. Thumbs up, you guys. Plaintiff alleges that the primary motivation for these acts is money. The defendants demanded 6 million big ones, or in effect the podcast, 2 of which had already been produced, would continue. In yet a third podcast that aired mere hours after the complaint in the actions was filed on November 25th of 2024, the podcaster admitted that he had seen at least some portion of the 6 million extortion letters sent to plaintiff, and further admitted that he knew about the letter. Then they cite that live stream. Moreover, the podcaster states that he knew the letter was being emailed to Bishop Jakes. Then they list that podcast. In another podcast, the podcaster concedes that he often pays interviewees on his show, and that to the extent they realize financial compensation for their grievances, the podcaster expects to be compensated. Moreover, in the earlier November 3rd, 2024 podcast, the podcaster admits that he has knowledge of monies that might be paid to defendant Youngblood as a result of his interviews. More particularly, during the November 3rd podcast, Youngblood is asked by a guest whether anyone has reached out to him to pay him off. The podcaster interposes his own answer to the question by stating in sum and substance that he can answer, quote, that question for sure, responding in the positive. Then they list that live stream there. At this point, plaintiff submits that we have a reasonable basis to believe A, the podcaster has knowledge of defendant Youngblood's plan to obtain money by making false statements against plaintiff, including knowledge about the 6 million extortion letters sent to plaintiff, and B, some financial compensation was provided to defendant Youngblood by the podcaster to participate in the podcast interviews where the false statements were launched. Further on information and belief, plaintiff submits that there was a plan between and amongst defendant Youngblood and his co-conspirators, including the podcaster, to share the anticipated extortion payment once made. Moreover, the podcast... Hold on, wait a minute. What, bitch? Submitted there was a plan between and amongst defendant Youngblood, his co-conspirators, including the boxes, to share. Okay. Moreover, the podcaster was able to realize other channels of financial gain by launching the series of podcasts related to defendant Youngblood's false statements against plaintiff. The November 25th, 2024 podcast alone, by the podcaster's own admission on the live show, attracted 5,000 viewers of the YouTube show. At the end of the show, the podcaster requested that those 5,000 persons make a donation to his show if they enjoyed the update. A banner appeared on the screen advertising that such donations could be made through a wide number of mechanisms, including PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle. The identity of John Doe's is essential to efficiently advancing this matter. Without the requested early discovery described herein, plaintiff submits that he will be unreasonably delayed in amending the complaint to include other culpable parties. B, risk interactive conferences with the court once those parties are later added during traditional formal discovery, and C, suffers the burden along with other litigants of potentially avoidable disjointed motions initially challenging the complaint, which in turn will likely disrupt the orderly flow of the case management plan in this case. Here, the plaintiff knows the identity of the podcaster. However, Bishop Jakes requires expedited discovery to further develop the factual matter to properly and appropriately support naming the podcaster and the podcast company as named defendants in this case in accordance with federal rules of civil procedure. Plaintiff anticipates that the requested information in connection with these 2 subpoenas will also reveal the identity of John Doe's, whom will also be named as a result of the expedited discovery. Okay, so T.D Jakes just stated why he wants these damn subpoenas, baby. Okay, baby, he wants to line up everybody's companies, baby, all the entities, all the businesses, baby, and he wants to know who all the hidden hands is. Statement of questions involve legal standard for expedited discovery. Plaintiff acknowledges that generally the federal rules of civil procedure do not permit formal discovery before the required Rule 26 scheduling the conference occurs. However, courts may permit expedited discovery before the Rule 26 conference upon a showing of good cause. Good cause may be found where the need for expedited discovery in consideration of the administration of justice outweighs the prejudice. Courts routinely allow early discovery where it will substantially contribute to moving the case forward and is narrowly tailored for that purpose. Amongst other factors, courts consider: 1, whether a preliminary injunction is pending; 2, the breadth of the discovery request; 3, the purpose for requesting the expedited discovery; 4, the burden of the defendant of compliance with the requested discovery; and 5, how far in advance of the typical discovery process the request was made. And then they list all of these goddamn case laws, okay, where this has happened at and where the courts have granted such. Argument: good cause exists in this instance. As a threshold matter, plaintiff deserves a prompt adjudication of his claims against the defendants, which necessarily begins with an ability to identify the persons involved with defendant Youngblood in his effort to systemically defame Bishop Jakes in exchange for a payoff and other related financial gains. Plaintiff has already developed some information and would support factual articulation of at least one co-conspirator, but requires traditional, specific information that will support elaboration of the conspiracy claim, including the mechanics of the conspiratorial conduct, thus bring to light an even clearer picture of the behavior at issue in this case and the persons involved. This particular need directly supports the administration of justice in this case. Now, I think this is real slick on Bishop Jakes' part. Because he knows goddamn well that the courts cannot stand trial. They cannot stand all this ruckus and motions. And baby, judges cannot stand civil suits. They can't stand them, baby, okay? Because it's a lot of mess. It's a lot of moving around, girl. So he's also trying to remind the judge, baby, that you should grant me an expedited discovery, baby, so we can go ahead and get this along. This would just move things ahead. Judges make things easier for y'all. It makes things easier on me, and it don't cost the defendant nothing. How about that? Okay, this is a wrap-around favor for everybody involved. Defendant Youngblood is not prejudiced by this expedited discovery, and it does not impose any hardship upon him. This application does not deprive defendant Youngblood of opportunity to object to the intended Rule 45 subpoenas, because naturally he is able to articulate any opposition by responding to this motion. Moreover, the returns from the Rule 45 subpoenas would be available to defendant Youngblood in the normal course and as required by FRCP. Further, the Rule 45 subpoenas do not require any production from defendant Youngblood. So even if defendant Youngblood is pro se in this action, the application does not request any material from him where he might otherwise be prejudiced in the absence of an attorney. The requests under the anticipated subpoenas are narrowly tailored. First, in terms of Rule 45 subpoena directed to the podcaster, the requests can be grouped analytically in the following manner. They're wanting to subpoena Larry Reid. 1, request 1 through 3 intended to establish actual identification, which is critical for properly identifying the punitive defendant. 2, request 4 or 5, probative of the relationship and interactions between the punitive defendant and defendant Blackburn over an approximately 3-month time frame, encompassing a period slightly before the first podcast and then the period during 2 of the 2 podcasts. Request 6 through 8, information that would likely elaborate upon statements already made by the podcaster, including his knowledge about the November 15th extortion letter and his interaction with attorney Blackburn prior to the letter being sent to plaintiff. And request 9, data and material that would augment plaintiff's current understanding about the punitive defendant's financial motivation to act in furtherance of and in accord with defendant Youngblood's false allegations against Bishop Jakes. Fundamentally, none of requests 1 through 3 can reasonably pose a burden to the putative defendant. Proving your actual legal name and address is something most persons engage with every day across contexts. With respect to the remaining requests, the putative defendant opened the proverbial door on the inquiries at minimum by and through his November 25th podcast that took place specifically in response to the filing of this lawsuit. Again, during the podcast, the putative defendant described having knowledge of the extortion letter, admitted to having seen at least some aspect of the letter, and strongly alluded to knowing what the extortion letter stated before it was sent to plaintiff. Most third parties object to Rule 45 subpoenas because they do not want to be bothered with litigation that does not involve them. However, here the punitive defendant specifically, intentionally, and deliberately interposed himself in matters of the lawsuit by his own provocative statements that raise substantive questions about his role and related legal liability as a participant in the conspiracy, all on a public podcast and in full face of and with an understanding that the lawsuit has been filed. The second Rule 45 subpoena on the company is similar to scope. The time frames for the requested information are narrow. The requests largely mimic those in the first Rule 45 subpoena and are intended to avoid a situation where the podcaster claims not to have the requested documents, such as emails or texts that are otherwise maintained on corporate devices or systems. Okay, so Jakes is wanting to go in, baby, and he's wanting to subpoena Dr. Reid. He's wanting to subpoena correspondences, if any, between Dr. Reid and Tyrone Blackburn, between Dr. Reid and Youngblood, and between Dr. Reid and the rest of these alleged John Does. We submit that the reasons for the subpoenas described above on balance favor the court granting the motion and permitting expedited discovery as described here. Again, the scope of the anticipated discovery is narrow. The purpose is clear. Effectuate a process through the which co-conspirators in this matter can be quickly identified and the complaint can be expeditiously amended as to include those persons along with a proper and appropriate description of the role in the conspiracy. All right. So what Jakes basically wants is the courts to make an exception to the rule for an expedited discovery against Dr. Larry Reid, which has happened in other cases unrelated to Jakes' case, so that he can amend his complaint against Dr. Reid very, very, very well. They basically want to dig all up and through and scrummage all up and through Dr. Reid's communications with Tyrone Blackburn, other alleged John Does, and Duane Youngblood in order to see if he's really liable. Because as you guys can see here, they did not even initially list Dr. Reid as a co-defendant in this case. And that's really because, and I can see it here going on, they ain't really got shit on Dr. Reid based upon even the things he said, etc. Because if the things he has said, etc., were enough to make him bona fide liable, then his ass would have came into this lawsuit listed as a co-defendant. So they want to be sure that Dr. Reid has been up to no good. They want to be sure that Dr. Reid is a co-conspirator. They want to be sure that Dr. Reid is in cahoots with all parties before they go ahead and amend their complaints, because they know that superficially and impulsively doing that actually will give Dr. Reid leverage. And Dr. Reid will be able to uli op and sue for slander and defamation in return if they say anything about his ass that is not factually true. Okay, so I ain't even mad, baby. Okay, and T.D. Jakes, baby, for making sure, because T.D. Jakes know that Larry knows how this goes as well when it comes to litigating. So unlike Duane Youngblood, T.D. Jakes know he's not playing with a dummy when it comes to Larry. That's why he's wanting the courts to grant him the opportunity to subpoena all necessary information, all necessary correspondences between Larry and other parties before they go ahead and put what they need to put in black and white. Sunrise says, does he, shout out to Louisiana for one. Sunrise says, does he want someone to implicate themselves? You have to implicate the person. I'm not really sure, but what I do know is that it's clear that T.D. Jakes, you know, he's trying to get to the bottom line. He wants to know who's all involved in this conspiracy train, girl. Who's all on board, baby. And what's interesting about that, right, is that this actually may work to Duane Youngblood's favor, right? Because as we know from updates and things, what's going on, Chef? Hey, boo. What we know from Dr. Reid and his public commentary is that he has said that this is going to open up a can of worms as it relates to Jakes, okay? There are going to be a lot of moving parts. There are a lot of things that about Jakes and his private dealings that are not going to sit well for the courts. They're not going to sit well for his public image, that now have opportunity to come busting out of the damn seams like lava from a damn erupting volcano. Okay? With that being said, I think one of the strategies here is, I think for one, they do want to be sure before they implement or implicate Dr. Reid officially, because right now they're just toying with his name, tugging on his toupee, okay, and letting him know what time it is. And I think that initially was to really put brakes to Dr. Reid's ass in terms of doing more follow-up interviews with Duane Youngblood, his brother, and other people, etc. But for two, I think that Jakes is trying to legally, what's the word? He's fishing right now, and he's trying to vet everything that he's going to be going up against by wanting the courts to grant him subpoenas to get all up into Larry's emails and text messages, call logs, etc., because he wants to know what he's going up against. You know, since Dr. Reid is the one who publicly stated that this will open up a can of worms for Jakes. You know, he's the one who said, even on my platform, that, you know, there's no difference between Duane Youngblood and Jakes, except Duane Youngblood has been caught in his behaviors. Dr. Reid has, you know, stated that he is aware of things that have not made its way to the public square. All right. So I think Jakes is trying to, him and his attorneys are trying to extract what the potential legal strategies are going to be against him, who they are going to try to bring in as witnesses. They're obviously going to try to slam Dr. Reid for co-conspiracy, etc., against Duane Youngblood. But I think really at the underbelly of this, Jakes is trying to, in a legal way, just vet the situation to see what all Duane Youngblood is really working with, because how that could end up doing good for Duane Youngblood is once Jake sees what all is coming up against him, once he sees who's all in on this, who all plans on aligning themselves with Duane Youngblood, because Dr. Larry also did share in an update that everybody, including the people who have pulled out of wanting to come forward, since Jakes has filed this lawsuit, Duane Youngblood does have plans, baby, to bring directly into this situation in order to legitimize his own allegations against Jakes. But that may also lead to Jakes doing one or two things. Once he bets the situation ahead of time, once he sees who's all going to come out of the damn caves and nooks and crevices of society against his ass, with their own issues to help corroborate Duane Youngblood's plight, baby, he may end up doing one or two things. He may drop this lawsuit altogether once he realizes that there's going to be a lot of fire where there is smoke, or Jakes may enter into a mediation. I think that mediation, if Jakes entertains it, is going to be very strategic. I think the mediation is going to be set up optically as well to make Jakes appear vindicated, but really it's Jakes potentially just moving in a way that's going to further conceal his own stuff from coming out. So it's now just a matter of what type of ball Duane Youngblood, and his friends and families and associates and podcasters, what type of ball they want to play in this situation, because it may actually, in fact, work in Duane's favor for Jakes to open up discovery earlier on, because once he see what the fuck is going on, baby, he may in fact pull it the fuck out, and Duane Youngblood won't have to worry about a trial. He won't have to worry about representing himself pro se through a long ass lengthy litigation, which could go on for a very long time. Ain't no telling when this thing could end. Jakes is a powerful man. He is a very wealthy man. He also has ties to the criminal justice system. He has very close relationships to police. He has very close relationships to lawyers. He has very close relationships to judges and to chambers. So Duane Youngblood is going up against a goddamn beast. He's going up against a titan, not only in the religious community, not only in the world of entertainment and the world of being a public figure, but he's going up against someone who is well coordinated and is well connected when it comes to the law as well. These will be all things that can be very challenging adversities and obstacles for Duane Youngblood. Mo Brown says he's trying to get Larry info without listing Larry. I don't think it's going to work. And it may not work. Red Star says, I honestly don't know what's going on between LRL and Jakes, but I'm listening and showing support because Conscious voice is very soothing. And it's so sexy. This is why I can't keep these niggas off me, Red Star. It's so seductive. It's so spell casting, right? Girl, fall in love, baby. Fall in love, Red Star. Fuller Effect says they also want to intimidate other bloggers from providing a platform to people that speak against them. And here's what I want to say to that, Fuller. Word to the wise. What bloggers better do is y'all better make sure that y'all are well vetting the people that y'all allow to come to y'all platform to talk about other people for clicking a goddamn view, because it may end up clicking your ass right into the court system, and then you may find yourself in a situation like what Duane Youngblood and Larry has found themselves in a situation with. Okay, because let's really talk about lawsuits. People don't need a substantial claim against you to waste your time and to waste your money in the court systems. Do you know how many people have gone bankrupt from frivolous lawsuits? Do you know how many times people have been tied up into the court system about baseless claims that costed them their finances, costed them their mental health? Okay, just because that's what the courts allow, because the court is such a general place to play ball in, and it allows anybody on either side to come out the winner. The defendant could come out the damn winner. The plaintiff could come out the goddamn winner. Nobody could come out the goddamn winner. It's such a wild, wild west when it comes to the judicial system. And to be honest, I'm also just kind of over this whole expose culture. It's really tired. I really don't know what people's incentive and motives are coming to social media. I honestly think for me now, what it's really doing for me is, first of all, I'm not really interested in type of shit anymore. It's stupid, it's redundant, and there's no real justice ever in it. There ain't been one story yet that has come to justice that's been read by any influencer, that's been brought to light by any influencer. Look at all the stuff that people are trying to do on Larry Reid's name. Larry Reid is still a free man, got all his businesses. There's been no hurt and harm come to him because, people get to just abuse the social media space and do what they will and grift and clout and etc. child. And I'm really over it, I think I've been the only influencer that has actually participated in a rundown on people that has led to something substantive. For instance, when I ran down on William fucking McCrae, and he got factually and legally fucking sued by a bishop that hired me to track this nigga, to find this nigga, and to get his ass served on behalf of that fucking bishop. And that is what I did successfully. And as a result, that bishop was able to take William McCrae ass to court, was able to wash and rinse his ass through the court system, able to get an order from the judge that resulted in William McCrae losing his website, and all type of things, shall, okay? You know, because if I'm gonna run down on a bitch, I'm gonna run down on the bitch. I'm not running down on the bitch for the sake of just social media attention and clout and all of that shit. And because a lot of times there's nothing that really comes out of the shit other than this drama and controversy and clicks and views. At this point, I really don't know what all this be for. You know, the fact that these people be claiming the most egregious things have happened to them, but then they will rather talk to influencers and talk to TikTokers before they even talk to the damn police or talk to a damn attorney, talk to a damn judge before they even file a civil suit, before they file a criminal suit, before they have anything legitimate and substantial to just put blood in all of this. I feel like what it's really costing is real victims. Like, it's costing real victims. It turns these exposés into just a shit show. And then it becomes very shallow and superficial in nature. And then by the time real folk come forward with real things to say, everybody treats it like a grift and everybody treats it like a fucking game because it's just been a circus this entire time. And now everything gets lost in translation. As I said earlier, going back to Youngblood, I really don't even know what the fuck. What's going on, Neo? Hey, boo. I don't understand what the purpose of... I don't know. I don't know what this was all about. And it does look bad on Youngblood's part. It looks horrendous. The fact that Larry already admitted that he didn't even know anything about a money grab. He didn't know anything about Youngblood going for money. He stated that he asked Youngblood, is he trying to get money? And Youngblood said no. But yet Youngblood been behind the scenes with Tyrone Blackburn trying to shake T.D. Jakes down for $6 million damn dollars. And that explains why Youngblood didn't file first, because the whole gag and the whole point was not to file. The whole point was for Duane Youngblood to find somebody to use to tell his tale to then trigger up T.D. Jakes. And I think Duane Youngblood intentionally went to Larry because Larry is he's a notable figure in the church sector. So if there's anybody that you can bet on getting you the necessary click and views about your church commentary or your church testimony or your church situation or your church hurt, your church abuse, then obviously you're going to need to go to Dr. Larry Reid. And then I think the strategy for Duane Youngblood was to then hope that T.D. Jakes would get scared based upon the situation going viral or partially viral or getting enough attention, and then he would be able to slide his attorney in on the back end to then start having how much of a check are you willing to write off in order to make this all go away. T.D. Jakes then pull a Uli Op and put a reverse Uno and sued Duane Youngblood in return. Okay. However, this has now become very interesting because if the things that have been alleged about T.D. Jakes, and baby, let me tell you, there have been some of these allegations, and I don't even know how much I can say. Hold on, how much can I say? I don't even know how much I can say, baby. But some of the allegations that I'm aware of, based upon my reliable sources, girl, they're not good. They're not good. And we ain't talking about allegations of Jakes just being allegedly bisexual, allegedly secretly closeted, allegedly having boyfriends, that ain't even illegal. It's the same type of allegations that surrounded Duane Youngblood and got Duane Youngblood locked up. It's those type of allegations that are in the background of the Potter's house. And if Duane Youngblood has to end up defending himself legally against T.D. Jakes, T.D. Jakes is going to run the risk of all of that stuff coming up and out and having language brought to it. If there have been payouts about those same type of allegations that surround Youngblood that got his ass on a registry list that also are hunting T.D. Jakes, if there's any truth to those allegations, if there's any truth to the fact that families have been paid off regarding alleged abuse against their teenagers, etc., girl, this thing can get very nasty. And I also feel like that's why they're trying to subpoena Larry, because I think they're trying to see what the other side is all working with, because that may lead to Jakes making a decision in terms of dropping this lawsuit or going expeditiously into mediation, baby. Okay. Like I said, I think that might be part of the damn strategy here. Miss B says, I think Jake's still bitter about comments Larry made with Carlton Pearson, and he might be. Jakes might be bitter about the Carlton Pearson commentary. He might be bitter about the Manasseh stuff. He might be bitter and further bitter by the Duane. He may feel like there's a personal vendetta. And optically speaking, I can understand from Jake's perspective why it looks that way. I mean, it's like if, like anybody, if somebody keeps coming for you, if somebody keeps, for the most part, only speaking about you when it's in a salacious way, I mean, yeah, like anybody else, they're going to think that this is intentional and that, somebody is out to get them and that this person is just intentionally standing against them, So he, in fact, may be bitter, or maybe resentful, or maybe wanting to get his lit back, or vengeful, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Crystal Williams says, what is Larry going to do? I don't know what Larry's going to do. What I would advise Larry to do is to get an attorney, and to just prepare for all of this, because T.D. Jakes now has made it very clear that he is going to subpoena Larry, and he's trying to get the courts to grant him permission to do so. So I'm sure what Larry's going to do is get his lawyering assembled accordingly to confront all of this that's going on. Red Star says, can you all just picture T.D. Jakes spread wide ego about to have his salad tossed, child? They finna be some gravy bits with that salad, girl. Okay, now that's just disgusting, Red. That's just goddamn disgusting, baby. And I don't want to imagine. But big boned people do have sex, shy. They ride it, they reverse cowgirl it, they in doggy style it, they on their knees with it. They in every position, girl. Get into the glory. It will all come out because the lawsuit will reveal all, and apparently he knows everything will come out. I doubt very seriously Bishop paid anything out. Well, I haven't seen anything factual for myself, but once again, credible sources have said to have seen, certain things, and it's, and allegedly there have been payouts about things that y'all have never even heard of. cases y'all don't even know about, situations y'all don't even know about publicly, because that's the whole point of a payout, right? Is to make sure that shit don't bob to the surface. So never say never, okay? If it does end up coming out, I'm sure that all these things will come up and out with it. But once again, this lawsuit may not even see the light of day in full personification, because once they subpoena what they need to subpoena and they see what they need to see, Jakes may be better informed about things, and if those things are true, and of course he would be very interested in not having those things become public, then he may pull out of the suit. Jakes is on the Diddy tapes, but if he's not on tapes with underage victims, it won't come out. Oh, that's allegedly. No, there will not be no mediation. Bishop is not bitter about anything concerning Bishop Carlton Pearson. Mother of Two says it would really shock me if Jake drops this lawsuit. Yeah, and that's the interesting thing, right? He done filed it. So on one hand, he's expected to go through with it fully, to vindicate himself. But however, if T.D. Jakes' closet is not so clean, if his closet is filled with so many skeletons, baby, himself, that may just end up taking place. But like I said, I think that if he does, I don't think he would drop the suit, but I think it may just conclude in mediation. And I think the way that the mediation is going to be set up is going to be in a way to kind of create a narrative that Jakes is still vindicated, when in all actuality he actually just mediated and there is no vindication. But I think they're going to work the optics of it if they do have to end up mediating, child. Stand by him regarding what issue. Hey y'all, hey Joyce, hey bud, what's going on, Naylee? Making it clap. I'm big bump, period. Okay, this case is about the salacious content that was said by Youngblood. Well, what kind of skeletons are we talking about? I just said it, baby. I just said it, and I ain't about to say no more about it, because I don't even know how much I can goddamn say about it. But like I said, the same allegations that were true about Youngblood and got his ass convicted and sentenced, and ultimately having to register on the sex registry list, those type of R. Kelly allegations have been put on T.D. Jakes as well. And there are situations that allegedly have been settled out of court, have never come to the public, have never been seen, shown, or spoken about by the public. However, because Duane has to defend himself legally, his defense, obviously, like Larry said in one of his updates, is going to be putting everybody's ass in to create convincibility about the claims that he made about Jakes based upon a pattern of behavior by Jakes. Okay, so Jakes is running the risk of things coming up and out. Now, as I said, I ain't seen no proof to substantiate that the R. Kelly allegations against Jakes are real. It was just something that I'm aware of based upon reliable sources, but I have not seen anything with my own eyeballs, with my own brain, so I don't know. But according to my sources, yeah, there's been some objectives around those allegations, girl. And if Duane Youngblood brings any of those people in, bring any of those alleged families in, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess, but maybe not, right? Because there's a reason why Jakes wants to subpoena all of Larry's records, and he's trying to vet the situation before it even plays out in the courts, and he's trying to extract information so that he can set up his defense, and his defense may be dropping the damn case. His defense may be settling, or not settling, mediating the issue. Child. Well, that way shouldn't say anything. You need to rewrite that statement all over again because it's grammatically ridiculous. He's going to need Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and all the archangels for help. If this case was only about Youngblood, there would be no plans to name others. Exactly. Now, let's talk about that, right? If Duane Youngblood needs all these other people, all these other damn witnesses, that tells you a lot about how Duane's individual allegations are very sugarless, girl. I feel like this is a unsweetened Kool-Aid, a unsweetened tea chai. Okay, the fact that Youngblood is going to have to drag every other alleged concubine, every other alleged boyfriend, every other alleged violated person in against Jakes just to make his own experience make sense is interesting. However, he does have to defend himself, baby. So, baby, you know, he got to do what the hell he got to do. What is the purpose of a payout if you can later openly speak on it? Because there's something called the courts and there's something called subpoenas. And regardless of personal settlements and everything else, child, if the courts green light subpoenas against you, the intent is that you do have to respond. Now, what can happen is you can pussy pop on the stand like Kelsey did in the Megan Thee Stallion Tory Lanez case. Remember, she had cut a deal with the DA and all that, and obviously her lawyer had taught her well on how to get up there, girl, and muddy the goddamn waters, because Kelsey didn't want to have to incriminate Megan, nor did she want to have to incriminate Tory. She wanted no involvement at all, baby, and her ass successfully pussy popped on that goddamn stand. So while you do have to respond to a subpoena, and the consequences are being found in contempt of court, jail time, and or sanctions, and financial fines for not responding to a subpoena. There are a few exceptions when it comes to subpoenas, and you being able to argue out of not complying with them. You do get to contest a subpoena. However, subpoenas generally are honored. However, from there, if you get you a good lawyer, baby, your lawyer can teach your ass, baby, how to not give the party subpoenaing you what they looking for. Okay? Based upon how your memory all of a sudden is set up, baby. That selective memory, baby. That selective hearing, baby, based upon, girl, all the language of, you know, I'm not sure I remember that, girl. It gets very, very technical, baby. It gets very much so semantics, child. You know, you get you a good lawyer to teach you how to pussy pop on the stand. You can avoid participating in the way that's expected of you once you are subpoenaed. So, yeah, but you know, the whole point of settling out of court is so that you don't see this shit in court, you know? But if you subpoenaed, then hey, you know, that person may have wasted their goddamn money, child. Thank you for always being thorough on period. We shouldn't say anything or whatever sources you said had told you. Oh, well, first of all, I'm gonna say what I want to say because I'm grown, for one. For two, I said the word allegedly. For three, I know how to fuck to speak about what I'm speaking about because unlike you, I actually do this. Okay? And your ass is the one who's in the chat being nosy as fuck, actually asking me to elaborate, and then in the same breath, but your confused ass telling me what I should not say. So just shut the fuck up, okay? Rumors in T, he coulda, shoulda kept his mouth closed considering his accusations only suggested that Jakes hit on him unsuccessfully. It appears like Duane and his attorney were trying to blackmail Jakes. That's exactly what it looking like. But even though Duane's situation looks completely corrupted, it looks completely ridiculous, and he doesn't really have a real claim against Jakes, the superpower that Duane may have in this case is he is able to bring in all this other shit that is going to pretty much assist in his plight against Jakes, and that's going to give more fucking headache to Jakes as well, baby. And once again, this is the law, baby. So you know you gotta knock and buck, bitch. You gotta do what you gotta do when they call you to the stand, girl. Hey St. James, R. Kelly out of yeah, child. There are alleged R. Kelly level allegations against Jakes, and those allegations may show up in Duane's defense against Jakes, because as Dr. Reid said, baby, Duane is going to be bringing in a tribe called Quest, okay, against Jake's ass. And that's why Dr. Reid is saying on his platform that Jakes, you know, he might want to think about this. This is why he's been saying it was really dumb for Jakes to sue Duane, because now Duane got to respond to this, and he got to make his own claims against Jakes make sense, and he's going to have to do that by other people who can bear witness to the horrendous alleged character of T.D. Jakes, girl. That's what Larry means by open up a can of worms. All these things now have the potential to come up and out. And I have a feeling that Duane's response, which is the deadline of the 26th, he has till the day after Christmas, girl, it's going to be explosive. It's going to be explosive. Make no mistake about it. Duane's complaint, I mean, not his complaint, his response to the complaint officially is going to be explosive. And there's going to be a lot of fucking tea in that complaint. It's going to be a fully fucking loaded response. Okay? It's going to go beyond Duane Youngblood. Just like Jakes laid Duane Youngblood ass out in the complaint, Duane ass is going to lay and put an iron to Jake's ass in his motherfucking response. And like Dr. Reid said on his platform, baby, a tribe called Quest is standing behind Youngblood. I believe that this is also a part of the legal strategy of Jake's tugging on Larry's wig and trying to subpoena him, because they're trying to get tea on who all is working on the side of Duane, because that may lead to Bishop pulling out of the suit altogether, or may definitely have him 100% go in the trajectory of settling. Do you want to hit the link, St. James? You want to come up and give your little 1-2-1-2, child? It's going to be a mess, child. Now, speaking of T.D. Jakes, girl, T.D. Jakes is not just coming for Larry. Jakes is coming for other content creators as well, okay? Courtesy of my girl, Coffee City. I saw this over on her platform. Make sure you guys subscribe to Coffee City, honey. I love her down boots. Oh, let me drop the link in case St. James want to hit the link, child. I just dropped the link for you, St. James, and that link is only for St. James. T.D. Jakes, according to a Twitter user, ex-user by the name of the Diddy Docket, claims that a lawyer for celebrity pastor Bishop T.D. Jakes filed a motion seeking more information about 4 YouTube accounts posting salacious misinformation about him, and is instructing those who have 10-year receipts to send those receipts to Bishop Jakes, girl. Okay. So when TD, like in the complaint, it says John Doe's 1 through 10 working unanimously and working in concert, etc., girl. And let me tell you, TD Jakes' name has definitely been out here in these streets the past 12 months, especially after the whole Diddy indictment. TD Jakes' name definitely got caught up in all of this, including William McWig, who claimed that he personally had an image of T.D. Jakes at a P. Diddy freak off party, dressed in a goddamn apron with his flat clappers hanging out the motherfucking back. Okay, that raggedy bitch may end up subpoenaed, girl. They may end up calling that girl out, you know, from her extended stay in the graves and in the cemetery, girl, where she abides, honey. Okay, T.D. Jakes, girl, might be making a lot of influencers stand on motherfucking business now that he's in that energy, girl. He's in that same energy that Rock Nation and Jay-Z is in, girl, where he's coming out swinging and fighting. He's snatching wigs, girl. He want all the smoke, and he gonna clean up these sky rates, girl. TikTok got all type of goddamn deep dives, girl. They done dug off in TD Jakes' ass, girl, ever since this whole Diddy stuff. YouTubers done been getting carried away all year long, girl, as it relates to TD Jakes and his alignment to Diddy and these freak offs and being on tapes, girl. It's just a mess out here, child. So TD Jakes, yeah, he's coming for his legacy. And I am wondering if this is important to TD Jakes, especially now, because he's almost getting like a pre-prophecy of what might end up attached to his name long after he's gone. And because Jakes has a plethora of health issues, he's an older man. Who knows when TD Jakes is going to finally croak and transition, you know? But I think TD Jakes is afraid now that he sees what's happening, you know, at this point in his life as it relates to his reputation. I think he's afraid that, you know, his reputation may end up being severely smeared and contaminated and polluted, and he's not even here to defend himself. So I'm thinking it's possible that TD Jakes also is wanting to address a lot of this stuff, and clear up the bulk of the stuff and where it's coming from and what it centers around, so that he has confidence in leaving whenever the Lord calls him home, and doesn't have to run the risk of leaving a lot of this stuff undone and leaving a lot of this stuff unsaid. He's giving himself the opportunity to control his own narrative, giving himself the opportunity to control his own truth. Also, another alternative that I think may be happening here as well, right, is Jakes wanting to expedite a discovery period may also be legal strategy on his end for him to line up the coming accusers, those who are going to be witnesses on behalf of Duane. Because like most times in situations like this, y'all, it's never just wrong on one side. If there are men who have had affairs with Jakes, if there are concubines and secret lovers and secret boyfriends and all type of things, Jakes knows that them hoes are hoes as well. And if them hoes gonna jump on this bandwagon, he gonna make sure that he runs their ass straight into the mud, just like they planning on running his ass straight into the mud. He probably has just as much tea on their ass. Because let me tell you something about powerful people and people who have a lot to lose. A lot of times, people who have a lot to lose, they make sure to set situations up in a way to where they have just as much on your black ass as you got on them. Powerful people sometimes can operate with a lot of cleverness and be very tactical, be very intellectual, and be very sharp, baby. Because they realize that when the money dries up, or when the pussy dries up, or when the dick dries up, or when it's time to just dispose of a person, because that's what they do, you know, they come and they go like wash rags, baby. Okay, they make sure, baby, to set your ass up as well in such a way that if you ever come for them, they can equally come for you, if not even worse. Okay? So I think Jakes is wanting, once again, to get an advancement from the courts on subpoenas and information and T so he can know who the fuck is coming for him, because he's going to put a goddamn iron to their ass. And what we may find out is that whoever these witnesses are going to be for Duane, is that these people who have been trying to make Jakes a monster and trying to act like the bulk of the evil, the bulk of the criminality, the bulk of the wrongdoing is on Jake's part, these people actually may be worse than Jake's. They may be worse than Jake's. Those people may be extortionists themselves. Skeezers, scammers, etc., girl. So I believe that Jakes is wanting to be sharp. He's wanting to be precise. Okay? And he's wanting to make sure to include what's necessary, and he's wanting to fight what's necessary. I think Jakes doesn't want to swing in the dark. He doesn't want to be impulsive. He doesn't want to swing impulsively. He wants to be precise. He wants to be accurate in who he's targeting. He wants to be accurate in how he builds his defense. And if he is a man that has a whole nother life, has a whole nother lifestyle behind the four walls of the church, behind his wife, if there is some other reality to Jakes, then that creates even more of a incentive for his ass to definitely swing with precision, because he doesn't want to unnecessarily open up any unnecessary doors of secrecy. Okay? So he want to make sure that he knows who the fuck to come for, who the fuck to line up, baby. Okay? So his blows can be precise. T.D Jakes was all up in Diddy's face singing happy birthday. Okay, now let's speak about that too, right? T.D Jakes is a public figure. He runs in public figure circles. He is a spiritual father and a pastor to Diddy. There's no actual harm in that. I mean, he runs a whole church where he is the pastor to both saved and unsaved folk. And just because he is Diddy's spiritual father does not mean that he was at a freak off. It doesn't mean that he's been getting fucked in his ass. It doesn't mean that he's been at any jam orgies, and there has not been a single lick of proof to substantiate the fact that he has. This has all been conjecture, 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 conjecture. There's not been a single lick of proof. Even what William McWig said, bitch, that bitch never produced a single receipt. And do any of us actually believe that this known and sued extortionist, William McWig, actually had a damn picture? No, because we know the bitch can't hold no fucking water. And if he had a picture, he would have definitely disseminated it for the click and the view that he needs. So no. I don't believe that he even has a picture, and once again, there has not been any receipts to substantiate that. All people have is public knowledge that there is a relationship between Jakes and Diddy, but there's no proof that there's anything inappropriate transpiring between them. There's no proof that Jakes has been at an after party. There's no proof, girl. There's just been rumor milling and rumor spilling. I'm glad the bishop is fighting back. Look, I want to be a believer in Jakes. I want to be a believer in what he represents and who he professes to be. I want him to be the real deal. I want him to be a man of integrity. However, at this point, girl, I'm afraid to call it. I'm afraid to confidently call it when it comes to anybody, really, at this damn point, because people are just so full of shit, and people are just so rotten, and people are just so terrible, you know? So I have to keep an open mind when it comes to Jakes. I don't know if Jakes, it's still too early to call it. We don't know if Jakes is going to fight. Once again, he's trying to extract information early on from people that he believes is colluding with Youngblood that may actually result in him dropping the suit or even mediating. And if he does either one of those things, the truth is not going to come out. We're never going to know what's what, because it's not even going to play out entirely. However, if everything that has been alluded to about Jakes is a lie, if everything that's ever been alleged about Jakes is a lie, and Jakes knows that it's a motherfucking lie, then he is doing the right thing by using the Duane Youngblood situation to pull everything out of the graves so that he can vindicate his entire name. And I do think that's what Jakes needs to do. There is a lot of terrible, terrible, terrible things on his name. And if he is in fact innocent of these things, then this is his opportunity to reclaim his name, to reclaim his brand, to reclaim his integrity. And I hope that he deals with every single thing that will come up in this lawsuit against Youngblood, and he uses it to liberate himself. If Jakes get the subpoenas granted, and once Youngblood files that damn complaint, because, I mean, his response, that's going to give a lot of information to Jakes. And once again, I know that response from Youngblood is going to be loaded up, baby. It's going to be something terrible, bitch. It's going to be something terrible, baby. That response is going to be something terrible, baby. If Jakes then decides to pull out after Youngblood's response, coupled with the subpoenas he's wanting the courts to grant him for Larry Reid and all that, if Jakes ass pull out and or if he mediates, in my opinion, baby, we got more questions than we do answers. And something ain't right in the buttermilk. Baby. Nope. Something ain't right in the buttermilk, baby. If Jake's ass pull out of this lawsuit and or decides to mediate, bitch, once Youngblood responds, and if those subpoenas get granted and Jake get all the intel he need, bitch, and all of a sudden, girl, he moonwalks, that ain't gonna help Jake's none, baby. That ain't gonna do his reputation no favors. And if anything, he's going to vindicate all of the people, including Duane, that have a narrative, a unflattering, negative narrative against him. Oh, yes, God. So it would be a shame, because it would just be a shame, baby. But I want to believe it, because to be honest, I like Bishop T.D. Jakes. I think his preaching is phenomenal. I think it's powerful. There is something very nurturing and motherly about T.D. Jakes. I don't know whether it's the titties, it's the man boobs. I don't know, if it's the pregnancy belly, baby, but there's something very motherly, very, very divine feminine about, the pastor herein, girl, and, I can just imagine, baby, just putting my head into his bosom, girl. Okay, and just crying out to the Holy Spirit, baby. Okay, like, he has a commanding presence. There is a clear anointing on Jakes, and I hope that these things are not true. Hold on, let me see this area, cause see, baby. During the whole, let me see what. I believe this was during the whole Christian Keys drama against Tyler Perry, allegedly, child. Some individuals did reach out to me during that period about T.D. Jakes. They had alleged that they were ex-lovers, they were concubines, they were individuals who had been on payroll, etc. I never really ran the story, But I did tell y'all that I had been reached out to. And those people did not want to come completely out of the wilderness as well. So I don't know what's all going on behind the scenes, but let me also say this. It wasn't no criminality in the Youngblood situation. Youngblood was grown, T.D. Jakes was grown, and if T.D. Jakes wanted to come on to him, he had the right to do that. You have a right to pursue somebody and then to leave their ass alone accordingly if they're not interested in return. If Youngblood was 14, 8 years old, then that's a whole nother story, child. But Duane was 18, 19, 20. You know? And he was of legal age. He could consent to his partners and conduct his personal life however he wanted to with any other adult person. And T.D. Jakes ain't breaking the law by coming on to his ass, okay? So yeah, there's all of that. And if Duane Youngblood would have been better off doing one of two things. Either just leaving T.D. Jakes' name completely and utterly out of his interview with Larry. Or for two, he would have been better off filing first. But telling Larry that he wasn't out for money, only to find out that him and his attorney been trying to cipher $6 million out of Jakes behind the scenes. Yeah. Look like Duane, baby, done fell on some hard times, baby. And by any means necessary, he need the light bill paid. Okay. Now I also know that Larry has also stated that the things that are quoted of him in this new motion for expedited discovery are things that he has not said. Jakes them are all out lying and are stripping context from what they are alleging that he said. So there's that. And we're just gonna see, girl. We're gonna see what happens, girl. We're gonna see what happens, Shy. Y'all have any questions, Shy? We're gonna see, Shy, because Youngblood's response is coming down the pipeline. Any day now. We may get it before the 26th. We may get it on Christmas Day, girl. He may put his response right up under Pastor's tree, girl, for Christmas, baby. Okay? I do know that it's going to be explosive. I know that it's going to be fully loaded. I know that it's going to be salacious as fuck. I know that it's going to be the rundown of the rundown of the rundowns on TD Jakes. So I'm just telling y'all ass to get ready right now. And y'all know that we're going to be reporting it loud, live, and in motherfucking color, baby. I got my goddamn notification turned on from Pacer, baby. Okay? Loud, live, and in color. I'm telling you, it's going to be a nasty complaint, baby. Oh, yes, it is, Shay. And we're going to read line by line, by line, by line, by line, baby. It's going to be nasty work. And then from there, baby, we're going to see what Jake's going to do, girl, because that's going to be the kicker. That's going to be the decider, for real, on the direction and trajectory, girl, that Jakes is going to go in with this lawsuit, baby. That's going to decide whether he's going to pull it all together or whether his ass is going to mediate, baby. Ain't going to be no damn trial, baby. Ain't going to be nothing for a jury to have to rule over, baby. Ain't going to be no motherfucking coverage and live coverage by blogs and bloggers and podcasters and things, baby. Oh, no, ma'am. The court will figure out all truths and lies. Yes, yes, yes. Well, or maybe not, because once again, the courts are corrupted as well. And and speaking of corruption, I want to welcome St. James. Hey, Saint.
I'm reporting live from the Potter's house. How are you, Conscious?
Well, you a damn fool. How are you?
I'm good. I have a question for you.
Yes.
You seem pretty convinced and confident that this response will be explosive. You have any intel on that?
Yeah, the intel is my mouth. The intel is my mouth, St. James.
Okay,
I mean,
all right.
Do you really think that Youngblood is going to give y'all chocolate milk in that response and not a whole shit turd. That response is going to be loaded. Now, my question to you is, how do you feel about the fact that Youngblood is going to drag every bone, every skeletal, every skull out of T.D. Jakes' closet to defend himself, especially since Jakes laid his ass out in the original complaint?
Listen, Youngblood is going to have to fight for his life.
Yes.
He really is, because Jakes has came out swinging. He is, I don't think money's an issue at this point. He's coming against everybody around who he thinks is around Youngblood.
Yep.
The man needs to get ready for the fight of his life, because first of all, there hasn't been any election, according to Pacer or in the courts, of an attorney. And
Right.
I understand what you're saying, that how the response is going to be, but is the response going to be made without an attorney?
No, I think that Tyrone Blackburn is going to intentionally not represent Youngblood in this case, since he is going to be one of the since he can be listed as one of the co-conspirators,
Right.
and Tyrone don't want that smoke, so it'd be his best interest to sit his block eyes down somewhere. But I do think that he is going to help Youngblood to legally write up his response.
You think so? You think?
Absolutely.
And what would he get out of that, though? Because Blackburn is a money driven. Is he going to do it for pro bono? I don't think so. I don't think Blackburn, just like he said, pound the sand. Y'all figure out how to serve him. Pound the sand. Go ahead. I'm not going to help you serve him. So if they're not going to help him get served, how is he going to help him in this response? I just don't see it. I think Blackburn is more money driven. I think he figured out, I probably should have asked a few more questions before I said he had a case and took on the case and sent the letter. So I don't see Blackburn putting any more effort in regards to, after he did a little bit more research and figured out who T.D. Jakes was. I think he said, y'all better pound the sand and leave me the hell alone.
Well, it sounds like, Saint, you are speaking from the context of expecting lawyers to be ethical and moral, and you know that they can be just as raggedy and salacious and criminal as the criminals themselves. So lawyers are very sneaky, and guess what? Tyrone Blackburn is known in the legal system for his conniving, salacious, ridiculous ways. This is the same man who represented Subpoena Breederson in her T.I. and the T.I. And Tiny stuff, and now Sabrina all tied the hell up and done lost, and T.I. and Tiny all this damn restitution money and attorney fee money. He also the same one who represented Lil Rod in the Diddy case, and Lil Rod complaint had to be amended as a result of Tyrone Blackburn trying to sensationalize claims against Diddy by putting that whole fake ass Stevie J sex tape situation and thumbnail or screenshot of the video. Then come to find out that person that Tyrone was representing as Stevie J was actually a adult film star who was same gender loving, who came out and was like, yeah, that's me. That's not no damn Stevie J. Like, that man have been all type of sanctioned and everything. But apparently Youngblood is an entrepreneur. So you know, he got his own little coin, and you know, it ain't nothing for him to toss a coin to Tyrone Blackburn to help him to write this stuff up legally.
But again, it's just my thought process here, Conscious. It's like, this is a bogus claim. We can talk about everybody that Youngblood can put in his response, every person that has maybe hit him up or he's heard about that have these supposed relationships with Jake. That's fine. But what we want you to respond to is what you actually said happened between you and Bishop Jakes. I just don't see Blackburn putting any effort into this, because I believe he knows there's no money coming. If anything, money is going to be given from him if he's named in anything going forward.
Right. But the thing about it is, Tyrone Blackburn is able to help him to write up a complaint without putting his name on it, and attorneys do it all the time.
I guess
I
if he
think
paid him to do it.
and I think that Tyrone might have an incentive to do that, since it can be argued that he's the reason that Duane is even involved in this, because Tyrone inserted himself and told Duane that he has a case, and now that Duane getting sued, he may feel a bit of a smidget bit of a moral obligation to help this man out just a little bit.
You said what now? Moral obligation.
Midget bit, just a midget, teeny tiny. Like I'm talking about, like the smidget bit of integrity that exists in William McWig. Like just a midget, just a minuscule, I mean microscopic degree
Oh my goodness.
of integrity. You know, that's the and honestly, that is the least he could do for the nigga. I mean, you done gassed this nigga up. You done gassed him all the way up, baby. Now he's going up against one of the damn Supremes.
Yeah.
And you can't just leave them hanging after you done got your ass out there doing all type of demand. Oh, so you gonna do the demand letters, you gonna do the voicemails, you gonna do all that back and forth, but you ain't gonna at the very least write up a damn complaint unofficially for me to help me out a little bit. It's the least.
Duane didn't do his research on Blackburn at all.
They never do. They never do.
Yeah.
No, they take these celebrity attorneys for the sake of the fact that they are celebrity attorneys, and they have this big social profile because of their proximity to celebrities, and then they think that that's good. But then when you read the Yelp reviews and see a bitch got 1.5 stars and realize you done fucked up, and then your case is all stuck and stalled up, like many of the cases that Tyrone has represented.
I forgot to put my let me put my phone on. I don't like no dinging sounds while I'm online.
Turn off Jack James.
No, it ain't no Jack.
Turn off Big Black Cock. Turn it off, James. You're working, baby. You're working.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
I'm saved and sanctified.
It's the season to be giving dick.
For free,
I don't know all of what you had ex Santa to put in your stocking.
No, just you know, regular stuff. Regular.
Oh, okay, regular. Speaking of regular stuff, shout out to your 20K. That's an amazing feat. Congratulations to 20K, child. I remember when I'm
trying to get up with you.
I know, right? And you may or may not get there.
Man.
But if this is all that the Lord does for you, it's good enough.
You know what? It's an accomplishment, I would say, especially in a couple of years.
Yes. Are you going to be a big deal, and you're going to make it do or what it do? But the people love you, child. So you got a long.
Well, some of them, not everyone, but some of them.
Some of them, what?
You know, some people. You know, a lot of people love me. Everybody has their, haters, and
that's all of us, child.
Yeah.
But them haters ain't never stop shit.
Never.
They never.
Never.
They never stop a damn thing. Always. Right. So I got some questions for you though.
Okay.
What do you think of Duane Youngblood, and what did you think initially when he did these interviews? Like, what was your takeaway in terms of what the issue was for him when it came to Jakes and all of that?
I think the initial, and it's my opinion, and it's just my opinion, but I think the initial opinion was to get on a platform to do a money grab for Jakes. Because I loved how you described what his name is right now. His name is Mud.
Yeah.
So I remember you talking and saying that he has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
In regards to keeping his good name. So going after somebody like Jakes would do nothing but a slight chance that I can maybe get him in a room and we do a negotiation and he just hand me a couple of dollars just to shut up. Yeah. But my opinion is, I think I don't think it was anything about getting into the mind of an abuser, because there was no real focus on his deal and what he did. It was all about what they did to me at the church when I was young. We didn't get into the mind of an abuser. We got into, okay, what these people did to me. And now we got into what I want from you since I said you did this to me. So the focus of the interview wasn't what we got, in my opinion.
And see, that was my criticism for Youngblood, is I felt like going that direction, because I think the motive for Youngblood is twofold. I think it's money and monetary gain. Inflation got milk $7, baby. You better find your ass somebody to extort.
It's hot.
Okay, milk it, baby. Milk and cookies is $10, baby. You better find your ass somebody to William McWig. Okay. But secondly, I also felt like there was major social equity in Duane attempting to soften the stigma of his own existence by then trying to explain away it or even justify it under the guise that, well, I was abused.
It was a level of major justification.
Major. And that sickened me to my fucking stomach. It sickened me. It sickened me because it's so disingenuous, and it is such a terrible way to refrain and to deviate from accountability around his own behavior, as if, even if you had been victimized prior to being the victimizer, that you didn't have choice. As if you had to act on desires. You know how many celibate people there are? Do you know how many abstinent folk there are? Do you know how many heterosexual, bisexual, pansexual, and hell, even to the point of pedophiles? You know how many pedophiles have never acted on their desires? So I did feel hoodwinked and bamboozled by Duane attempting to talk about the context of his abuse while being an open registered pedophile who had been locked up again, even after his initial crimes, for breaching parole, etc., and everything that Jake said in his complaint about why he's being used by Duane Youngblood, which is to carve out and soften and justify his own. Because see, I can imagine, St. James, what life must be like for Duane Youngblood. His mugshots go out into his own community once a year and annually, or every 6 months on quarter. Every time you Google this man's name, all of his sins and transgressions come up and out. And for all I know, Duane Youngblood is having to kind of live in some type of obscurity, because maybe he is targeted in his community. Maybe there are people that throw rocks through his windows or leave death threats in his email, or people, you know.
Well, he said the Jakes. Well, didn't he say the Jakes were threatening him, the family or something?
Yes, he said the family. He didn't receive threats, etc. But see, I feel like that may be a embellishment. I think that who he really probably has been threatened by is just everyday members of society. Because if we know that these type of men don't even make it hardly in prison by prisoners who take these type of actions so seriously, then of course, you know, members of the public.
Why wouldn't anybody harass him out here?
Why not? Like, why wouldn't people be teasing you, be bullying you, be, you know, gawking at you, be targeting your vehicle, your home, and trying to run you out of spaces and run you out of communities and trying to intimidate you? And so I think that Youngblood is really fed up with living like that. And I think that he's trying, and he would have to use a notable figure, because that notable figure, if he's able to be vindicated and be established as a victim by someone who has a name to himself, that verdict is disseminated out into the public because of that individual's public image. Like, if Jakes were to lose this lawsuit, if he was to even settle this lawsuit, if he was to even pull back in this lawsuit, or if Duane...
I don't know why you think that's gonna happen. Are you drinking tonight?
I don't drink at all, baby.
You keep talking about this pulling back, this mediation, and I'm just not sold on that right now. I'm not at all sold on that.
I wouldn't be either. I wouldn't be either if I were you, because but because of now what I'm aware of, I definitely know that there is a 50-50 chance, Saint, that Jakes maybe trying to bet the situation because he wants to see how much real tea they have on the other side, because that then may result in a pulling back. And like I said, these are allegations, but there are R. Kelly like allegations that surround T.D. Jakes, and there are alleged families that he has paid off regarding their underage folk. And
Well, I've never heard
that
that.
stuff
That's wild.
may have a chance of bleeding out
Hmm.
in all of this. And I think that that's why Jakes, because was it just me, Saint? When I read this discovery motion by Jakes, it seemed desperate. Jakes is very anxious. He wants to really get a hold of all the information, and I
I
think
think he's
Jakes'
anxious to
own
draw
ass is on the
blood.
line too.
I think he's anxious to draw blood,
You
and
think he's anxious to draw blood? Okay.
yeah, and to really smoke out his ops. And you know, he's kind of been in the forefront like this
Mhm.
for about a year now. I think he's really ready. That's what I don't think, with all the talk about Larry Reid and the platform, it just tells me he doesn't care a thing about Duane. He's going for
Oh, you
the
think he
other
really wants
people
everybody
around him.
else?
Go ahead.
I said, so you think he wants everybody else?
I don't think he wants Duane at all. He wants Duane to probably shut up and go somewhere and sit down and, you know, uh, think about your next prison term. But he wants the people around. With all that mapping out, I don't see it as desperate. I see it as we want it, we want it, we want it now. We want to prosecute. We want to get these people in court. We want to expose everything and anything around them. We want it. My personal opinion, they have a lot of information already.
You think they have a lot of
I
information?
think they already have a lot of information. And I'm not too keen on Duane at this point, which way he's flowing.
Okay, expound upon that a little bit.
I'm not sure if he's totally, yes, he's in the lawsuit, but he doesn't have a lawyer. They tried to give him some extension time to do the response.
He didn't want it.
It just seems to me he's not taking that portion as serious, like a response as serious, like he wants something to happen so they can go on to their next phase in this lawsuit, which is co-conspirators. I don't know. It's something weird about it. It doesn't seem desperate. It seems like we have this judge. We have the information we need. We just need to confirm. We need to see if these people are going to give us what we already have, or some things that, you know, just confirm a few things that we don't have, but give us what we already have to see if we actually receive the information. And if we don't receive the information, we're going to present it to the courts, possibly, of what they didn't present to us or what they didn't, you know, give us through discovery. And I think it could be something to that point. I just don't feel that it's a desperate move by Jakes.
I mean, I got desperate from the fact that in this motion for expedited discovery that Jakes is not as sure. He's needing more information, and he wants to be sure before he goes in listing all 10 of these John Does, especially when it comes to Larry, because he knows that Larry knows how to navigate the legal system. So he knows, unlike in Duane's case, that he's not playing with a dummy when it comes to Larry. And
he may not be playing with the dummy when it comes to Larry, because he's been in lawsuits and he's dealt with the, you know, courts and things of this nature before. Well, I don't know about this particular nature because they're accusing him of some, you know, well, they're, you know, kind of alleging some really conspiracy and, you know, extortion. That's kind of deep. I don't think there has been anything, to my knowledge, into that before.
He don't
Oh,
been
yes.
in the E. Dewey
Oh.
situation. The E. Dewey
Oh, was that
situation
okay?
is
I
a
didn't know
little
that.
bit, but just in terms of generally speaking, right? He knows that unlike Duane, that Larry has money, Larry has means, Larry can take up for himself in the situation financially, and he knows that Larry knows the power of good attorneys and is food to the legal system. And I think before he makes any explicit statements, because you have to think about it, James, if Jake's plight against Larry was so ironclad, why the hell is Larry already not listed as a co-defendant? He just keeps like tugging on Larry's wig, but he can't really land
Let me tell you
on
about
Larry's
Jake.
claim right now.
All Jakes and all his attorneys are playing chess, baby.
And what's the chess?
I think the chess is thinking that they're dumb. Let you try to figure out our strategy, but you have no idea what we have planned. We didn't have this plan. Nobody really saw this rush of discovery that they want. We were waiting. We're sitting back looking for this response. All of a sudden, we get this rush of discovery that they hit us with. So I don't think they're as dumb as we, and I don't think we can calculate their moves at this time. I don't think we know them, and I think people may think they know their moves, but I don't think they do. And to go back to something you said a little bit earlier, you were saying that some people had came to you, whether by horse buggy, telegram. I don't know how they came to your email or whatever.
And I see what the hell you're trying to do here, James.
No, hold on.
I want to let you know that I'm on to you. Let
me make this statement though.
I see what you're trying to do, but I'm on to you, baby.
Don't cut me off. Don't cut me. Just let me say this. But it's going to what you said about the response. You said those people didn't come forward or didn't want to come forward, went ghost or did whatever. You don't think these folks that they think they're going to bring in here, put on a response, you did it to them, they said you, do you think they're actually going to talk even under some a subpoena and all that? Like you said, I don't recollect. I have no idea. I don't know what day it is. Who's the president? Ford? These people are going to get so amnesiac.
Yes, they are.
That's what I'm saying. He can load up a response with a whole list of possibilities. But here's
what you're not considering, Saint.
Okay.
If Jakes does the subpoena thing with everybody from the information he extracts from digging off in emails and DMs and all that, those witnesses can pussy pop.
True.
Or for Jakes, if they are really team Duane and Duane.
Who the hell is team Duane?
All the people that are going to be witnesses.
Oh, Jesus. How in the hell you team Duane? But go ahead.
Because look, right? It creates and they kind of have no choice to be okay. Well, wait. So you just not open up another interesting possibility here, right? Because Duane has every plan on bringing in everybody that he thinks is going to be able to help establish a pattern of sexuality,
almost kissing and hugging. Go ahead.
Yes, by Jakes. But the reality is, despite him bringing them into his response, and despite maybe even intending to use them as witnesses, they also could pussy pop on the stand as well and muddy the waters, and he not really be able to extract blood from that turnip, especially if, because we're not considering this, right? Jakes might wanting to subpoena Larry and all this because, and this is a hypothetical, Jake, so don't you come sending no goddamn Harry Potter cease and desist and no goddamn summons to my goddamn name, because baby,
we just talking in hypothetical.
Right, hold on, let me write my banner up right now. Let me put my banner up since we getting into the conspiratory part of the commentary. Jakes send all summons to the Saint show. I'm on the hypothesizing. All right. Because why? Hypothesis, baby. Listen. Now, what if? Because you know, this is like church mafia shit. This is salacious on the attorneys. Everybody got everybody with the shits. Okay. For all we know, Jakes could be trying to get intel by subpoenaing Larry and get intel because see, he said in his motion for expedited discovery that he's needing more precise fundamental information so that he knows how to line these niggas up as Jane Does.
Mm-hmm.
The plan on the back end, though, James, could be for Jakes to write checks because, unfortunately, even when it comes to people who may have a genuine plight against a person, they are interested in money. That's why a lot of victims are taken to the civil courts now instead of the criminal one because people already feel like, hey, you already did the damage. I'm already been hurt and harmed. At this point, just give me a coin so I can make my life great again. Just make me check this damn coin. Pay me for my pain, child.
Only checks Jakes is going to be writing here on out is to his attorneys. I don't believe Jakes is going to get nobody together to figure out who he got to pay some money to shut up.
And why you don't? Do you
it's
know?
Already been said.
Jakes. I mean, Saint. I said,
say?
What makes you confident in that? Do you know Jakes personally?
I'm not confident in anything, but who Jesus
you just said
the resurrection.
Jakes ain't going. Jakes ain't gonna be cut.
I'm not confident, but what I'm saying, looking into this thing and just going, no, I just don't think that is going to happen. I believe because we've heard it over and over again. Conscious, Jakes has paid people off. Jakes had to re-up. Jakes has that.
So let me say this, and I don't and let me say this. I know for a fact one person that Jakes pulled off. I mean, had paid off. A fact.
I know
for a fact.
You have the proof.
I know for a fact that Jakes is in the business.
Oh, your ass wants a subpoena.
Cutting checks, Saint
You
James.
want a subpoena, don't you?
And that's why
I'm want a subpoena.
And that's why I'm and baby, that ain't gonna work, and that ain't gonna work well for T.D Jakes, baby. I'm telling you that right now.
Listen to what you're saying, though, Conscious. You're saying you know for a fact. So when you say that, you have to produce the evidence that you know for a fact.
St. James, have I ever had any problem producing?
I think you have.
I ain't never had no motherfucking issue producing a damn thing. I ain't never had no problem.
Then
I can't speak for Tasha K. I can't speak for Malago Grams. I can't speak for everybody. CTV is historically known.
Okay.
But never having
somebody get this man some Pepto-Bismol.
Let the people hear it today. CTV has never had a issue with producing anything. Okay. That would not work out well for Jakes.
You got them receipts, Jives got.
And I just said, baby, CTV ain't got them kind of problems. CTV ain't got CTV and look, even CTV ain't never had a problem, baby.
You just said people are speaking in absolutes and then later putting the
there are people who can, and that's what separates the haves and the have-nots in this case. There are people who can.
By saying that statement,
why would I be afraid of anything that I ain't gonna have a problem with?
Okay.
Why am I gonna have a problem proving that the sky is blue tomorrow?
Okay. Oh. Well, long enough you're confident in these.
And look and catch it. Okay. I ain't say that Jakes is involved in any criminality. I said I know for a fact he has cut checks.
Okay. What for the praise and worship team, the musicians, his attorney? What?
James, see, I know you done prayed to that Santa for a dick in that stocking.
Oh my God!
And you taking out all your sexual frustration out on me right now.
No, I'm good.
Santa gonna come through on the 25th, baby.
I'm good.
Santa gonna make good on that wish list, James, on the 25th, baby.
And I'm just saying, Conscious. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying too that, but see, this is why my particular commentary is kind of it's set up the way it is because there are things that I am personally aware of And
you know
so,
what? And I believe you too when it comes to that. But my issue with this particular stuff with Jakes and all this going on, I wouldn't even put that out like I know or I have receipts, because you have a potential of being called in to say, produce your receipts.
I don't have no problem
Okay, all right.
with testifying on behalf of the truth.
You on your, you on your way to where you on your way to Dallas, Pennsylvania? Where are you going?
Baby, let's take something. It ain't because it ain't me, baby. Jason said, baby. Let me tell you something. Those things not gonna work out for Miss Jakes, but CTV gonna be just fine, baby.
My thing
And CTV gonna respond to the subpoena and all, baby. CTV gonna be right there in his mink and rabbit and fox fur coats, honey, getting all the clout, all the clicks, all the views, all the things, baby. And then on top of that, it ain't gonna work out for Jake. So I mean, it would not be in his best interest to even move Harry or his Potter toward me, baby, because it ain't nothing about what I'm gonna have to testify to that's gonna benefit Jakes.
And let me just make something clear real quick. Rumors and tea, I wouldn't be on here if I didn't think he was integral and a great commentator. What I'm talking about is, it's not about being a good commentator and having the receipts. It's why I'm asking, why even put yourself in the middle of that?
I'm not in the middle. I feel like I'm just being, am I not just being a commentator like you are, St. James? Are we not just commentating?
What you said.
And do we not have a right to speak about and testify to, like, because I do run a reasonably integral platform. When it's conspiracy, it's conspiracy. When it's
gotcha.
And giggles, it's shits and giggles, when it's, but when I talk about what I know, I'm talking about what I know. And
I'm glad that we're just not just seeing eye to eye, because I don't mind having a few little differences in our opinion here.
We don't see eye to eye, James, because people don't trust you the way they trust me, baby.
Oh, is that what that is?
People know you the bone carrier, baby. People know that you got loose lips, baby. So we ain't gonna never be in the same situation.
The official
Sherelle of YouTube, baby.
The official bone carrier.
The official bone carrier. So that's why I'm saying, like, I understand why you have the perspective that you do, but unfortunately for me, because there are certain things because I also stated earlier in this commentary, I said, now there are things as it relates to the R. Kelly allegations, I have gotten those things from very, very trusted sources. However, I have not seen any proof of those things. But as it relates to Jake's cutting checks, I know for a fact, and I know the amount of money he cut a check for as well in other situations.
My.
Yes, my. And see, so my question to you, James, is that if these subpoenas get greenlit and this response goes up, and if Jakes decide to either mediate and or drop this lawsuit, then what are your thoughts going to be?
By a slim, minute chance that will happen. Let me see. Listen, I'm and despite where I kind of do how I do my commentary, I'm just kind of responding to what I'm seeing, what's being presented to us on both sides. My response would be, I would have a question with Jakes and be like, I don't think it would look good for him to do that.
Right. It wouldn't at all.
I don't think it would, it would help in building his name up. Like, I'm sure that's why he needed to do this lawsuit, because his name was being tarnished, and I'm sure it was having an effect, as per the complaint, to some business deals that he's been doing. So it wouldn't look good. That's why I'm saying we have to look at it more as a business thing. He did this thing because he has a lot of big money on the line. So just to come back and do all this, state that you have big money on the line, or big relationships or collaborations, and then go and take it back or just slip into mediation, That won't look good. And according to what's been presented to us, I don't believe that's going to happen. Just saying.
You don't think that's going
But if
to
it does happen,
if it does, you're
If
going
it
to use
does
the same
happen.
platform to have more questions than you do
Yeah.
answers. Okay.
Yeah.
And if if some things, because if everybody do what they supposed to do in this situation, Jake's ass, I'm telling you, like, yes, Jakes is a powerhouse. Yes, Duane is coming in with toe up, non-existent credibility, and Jakes is coming in with all the favor just off optics alone. But some of the truths, and if some of the things being alleged are also true,
Mm-hmm.
Jake's gonna get toe up, and he the one who got actually more to lose than Duane. Cause see, the difference is St. James, Duane name is already fucked up. He don't have nothing to
That's
lose.
why I
He's
say
already a registered ex-offender.
that's why I said he doesn't care about Duane Youngblood. He doesn't care. He cares about the people around him and the podcaster, as he's calling Larry, in that complaint and in that motion. He doesn't care about Duane Youngblood at this point. Youngblood has absolutely nothing to lose, as you said, and a whole bunch to gain. If he were to gain something, but he has nothing to lose. So somebody powerful like that don't go after nobodies. They go off of people that they believe has something to lose and has the influence that they need to knock down.
But guess what? Bishop is going to need Larry's help to do that, which is why they need these courts to greenlight subpoenaing him. They don't have as much as you think they got already. They ain't really got shit.
They have a lot. What I'm saying is, I think they have some prudent information that would steer them to even want to expedite this discovery. I don't know.
What you think about what Andrew says? Andrew says, I love Conscious, but woo child, this bone carrier here, girl, love stirring the pot. Keep trying to see the combo either in the direction to shade other CCs or appear to infer things he's not inferring.
But
so
you wouldn't be around. We give you the pot. You like for us to stir pots. Come on. Who wants an empty, dull pot with just grits? You want a little cheese, a little shrimp, a little. Come on. And Andrea, come on. She ain't never liked me anyway, but go ahead.
Oh, so y'all got history. Okay.
I remember her from being over here.
Yeah. Okay. But with that being said, St. James,
Mm-hmm.
could it be argued that you kind of want Jake's side to be a little stronger than Duane's because you just not a fan of some of the folk on the other side?
I'm glad you asked that question.
Did I ask it?
Well, you made a statement, so let me get into your statement. I have never, ever been not a fan of Larry. Never, ever been not a fan.
I'll be right back saying that. You keep talking.
Okay. What'd you say? You'll be right back? Oh, I thought he said he'll keep right. Okay. But no. It has nothing to do with Larry, the person. Larry is who Larry is. All the commentators, all the people in blogging, the vloggers, the bloggers, we have taken pointers from Larry. He was one of the ones to really do it and push it out there. William, of course, Jives was there, William was there, but they didn't do what Larry did as to pushing it to another level. So I don't have and never have had anything personal against Larry. Absolutely not. I don't even know him like that to have something personal against him. But my issue is when I'm listening to certain things that have been said and comparing them to what we're hearing and what we're expecting to hear later on. Just like when the Manasseh stuff came out, we were expecting more. We were expecting to see, we listened to what Larry said, and we were expecting to see lawsuits. There was talk of they should be paid off. We were expecting something, and we just never got it. So in that aspect, I always had a thing where I hear it, but I really don't think that we're going to get anything because of what we've heard in the past. So no, personally, no. He does what he does. He does his job and actually does the job well. If he didn't do it well, he wouldn't be where he's at. Now, do I like sometimes how he does the job? No. But that doesn't mean I dislike him as a person. All right. Are you back?
Okay, so you really think you did your big one on that one, right?
What a big one. It was just the truth.
I can feel the confidence and you just strutting your shit right there, right?
It was just the truth. I mean, come on. I've got, different things that, hit up Kendall for different things and, to relate to Larry. And it's business, Conscience.
You feel it's business.
I feel it's more business than anything. Than real feelings and
Do you feel like the people that report on you are also just doing business?
I personally, yeah. Personal? I think they are. I think that it's content. I think it's just content.
So you don't take it personal.
I mean, everybody takes a level of it personal because if it's about you and it affects you in some kind of way, but you take it personal to the point where you say, I can have a cordial YouTube ship or social media ship with this person, or if you feel they take it a little too far and do a little too much, and you just kind of say, I'm going to stay over here and you're going to stay over there and we'll be all right. And I'm sure you've had that experience as well.
Yeah, I don't have it no more.
What do you mean? So you just collab with everybody, you kumbaya with everybody?
No, it's the opposite. I don't fuck with nobody and I don't want nobody fucking with me. So them hoes just gonna have to make it do what it do.
It's worked out for you. It's worked for you.
It has. Okay. So in concluding, do you feel like, so where's your prediction in all of this? Do you foresee, you think this thing is going to go all the way to trial? And I'm assuming that you think that Jakes is going to be, he's going to be handing out some ass whippings.
I think Jakes is going to kick him coming and going. I think so, Conscious. Because I think people are underestimating due to previous court cases that we've all seen play out on the internet. I think they're underestimated. And this is another level. You're dealing with a billionaire just about. It's like, I think someone said in the chat earlier, I think Jay-Z, it's like Jay-Z went for the people around this accuser. And I think they're taking on, Jakes' team is taking on that model, that they don't care nothing about Duane Youngblood. They know his name is mud. The story is not a story. They got that one already in court. Let's go and figure out this $6 million thing and the root and who's connected, who sat at the table to divvy it up, in their words, That's what it is. It has nothing to do at this point with Duane Youngblood.
But you don't believe what me and Papa saying, which is that if Jakes wants to take it that far, he will be exposed to the T.
Well, when you go to court, you open up yourself to be exposed in some type of way. Because everybody has to go for broke and go for blood to win. So, of course, that's why they talked about bringing this person, bring it down. Now, it doesn't have anything to do with the case, probably not necessarily, but sometimes, you know, how the judge says, okay, strike that, a jury, strike that from the record. They already heard it, though. So it's hard to strike something that the jury may not can use it against them in the deliberations, but it's always going to be in their mind and thoughts about that particular person. So he's going to possibly get some negative things and some negative thoughts and some people who may turn, depending on some things that they hear or that may come out, because ain't nobody around here, squeaky clean.
I am. I don't know about y'all dirty
little virgin, this little reformed virgin running around here in white. I know you are.
I was born a virgin.
What we are. But listen, I think we're dealing with somebody who has been the pastor of the nation, who has been, the inspirational speaker for presidents. And so you don't think he has weighed that option? I mean, that negative thing that, some things that I may have done may actually
I don't, because of what he's doing right now. He is too desperate to get all up in Dr. Reid's tablets and DMs and text messages and phishing because he wants to know if any dangerous, problematic, reputationally injurious truth is going to be bared on that side so that he can entertain pulling out of this lawsuit and or go ahead and mediating, child. Because it's this motion that really created that this motion here is Jakes is wanting to know what Larry knows. He's wanting to be clear about what Larry knows. He's wanting to be clear about what's all and who all is going on here. Of course, optically, he's trying to represent it as, oh, I want all the smoke, and I just want to know who the hell I got to file a lawsuit and run broke. But yeah, that's the optics of it. The reality is he shooketh, and he is trying to vet their legal strategy and see if anybody who could tell a dangerous truth on his ass is gonna come up in this situation so he can entertain pulling the hell out.
Well, we gonna have to agree to disagree, because I don't think the man is shook. I don't think the man is desperate. I think the man has some good intel and they're ready.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Are you the reason why he got good intel, Saint?
I told you I was reporting from the Potter's house when I came up here.
We gonna need to subpoena your ass. Because you mighty confident. Just you talking about I'm mighty confident. You mighty confident in the fact that
you keep saying he's desperate.
All the certainty.
I'm just saying from what I'm looking at. It's just what my eyes are seeing. I don't know if I got a little blur, a little cataract. But I'm just saying what I'm seeing, that's my hypothesis. That's just what I think. Yeah. So
I got a feeling that if it was one of your faves who was being subpoenaed, I'm not sure you'd be leaning. I don't know if you would be doing.
You know what I would be telling
a matrix in toward.
No. I don't. Stop trying to make Larry not one of my faves, okay?
I ain't saying it.
If it were one of my faves. No, what I'm really just I in all honesty, I'm just looking at it how it's been presented to us, Conscious.
So you don't believe that Jakes? Okay, because you just said a few minutes ago, right? So I'm gonna make you eat your own crow. You just said, generally speaking, nobody is virgin squeaky clean. So you don't believe that Jake's got skeletons in his closet? You don't believe that?
I said that. I said that no one is squeaky clean. And I believe he's weighed the fact that things may actually come out that may not look good for towards his character. But I think at this point, that weighing, it didn't outweigh what he feels he needs to go ahead and do, though. Because I still don't believe that these people are just going to start coming out of the woodwork against Jakes. I just don't believe that everybody's going to be on the bandwagon for this 2-time convicted dude that, just to save his ass and just to make sure that Jakes is
But you
taken
got to
down.
remember, it's not just a matter of, because they don't have to genuinely like or fuck with Duane. They
Mhm.
would just be responding to the legal obligation to testify
They're
with
not
a
going to
hand on the
remember.
Bible to
They're
the
not
truth
going to
and nothing but the truth.
remember. They're going to plead the fifth. They're going to have they're going to have an emergency and not be able. Let me tell you, it's all going to happen. If anything, this trial will be so drama filled that my ass is going to be on a plane, sitting in the courtroom, trying to look
Reporting loud, live, and in color from the same damn show.
live and in color on a location.
Jesus.
Yeah. So appreciate you.
Papa
Conscious,
says,
having me on.
it's not just Jakes. His whole family is going to be exposed. His wife, his daughter, all that controversy over there.
It could. It could. It could be. That could be. But again, we're not dealing with what people are calling dumb and stupid, and we're not dealing with that. It sounds good to say that the family is dumb and they got dumb advice, maybe, but it's just words at this point. They understand. I'm sure they had a full family meeting. All the Roberts and all the Jakes all got together and had a full family meeting before this complaint was filed. I believe they understand, but I believe they feel that their reputation and who they are is strong enough to hold up for them to pull this complaint and this lawsuit out. I don't think anything is going to catch them by surprise. If they're probably say something does, I still believe they feel that they're strong enough to really see this thing to the end.
See, a lot of people in the chat, James, are asking, like Dazzle that Taro, what exactly is Shakes guilty of? And that's kind of been one of the issues with all these people who have like ran to creators with private tea and
private tea, but never actually come out with anything.
And that's the problem. And that's the problem.
Take them down. Yeah.
Because because some of us who have been trusted with certain things are not going to disregard and disrespect the people who entrusted us with certain things and get ahead of their own truth. That's their job to do. But because there's been no factual, objective, public receiving of certain tea and information and data, then it does look like Jakes is going to have all of the leverage or the bulk of the leverage. But for those of us who know about certain things, for those of us who are aware of certain facts, we know that this does not look as beneficial for Jakes as it appears to be. And but this lawsuit definitely has potential to open the doors. And as I stated before, y'all better have y'all pace and notifications on, because Youngblood's response is going to be bloody. It's going to be bloody. It is going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath between Duane and
so what we're going to get is what we've been getting over the years in his response. A bunch of people who are saying that they had the same experience,
if not worse.
But my thing is, okay, anything you can respond however you want to respond. It still has to go through the legal process, and things have to be proven. Yes. I don't believe just because he's putting those names in, or he may put names in, it don't mean
the way that St. James is Team T.D. Jakes, baby. The way that cape is bloodshot red with an S on it, baby. I ain't mad.
Well, he's apostolic and I'm apostolic born too. But I'm just
okay, so we got that apostolic favor. I ain't mad at it. It's that apostolic allegiance, child.
No, I'm just really. I think you guys are just putting too much stock in Duane.
And that's what me and Larry are saying, though, right? Is that it is going to be a discovery, and that discovery is going to be potentially wild, because the people that Duane Youngblood is going to bring into this litigation are going to have to testify under oath. Now, we also know, right, they could get to the oath bench and pussy pop, but the problem is they're going to have other people being able to corroborate it. So even this attempt for people to pussy pop and backpedal, depending on how everybody plays their cards, is going to be even hard, and you're going to be doing something very risque by not just testifying to the truth. You're going to risk being in contempt when you got other people who can be brought in the witnesses to be like, no, because that did happen, and here are the said receipts, empirical or circumstantial evidence, and this is the that. So people will be playing a very risky game by pussy popping. Pussy popping on the stand is not for the faint of heart. You risk jail time and you risk being grossly sanctioned. So with there being a discovery, that's going to be the issue, because Duane going to be able to bring in all his witnesses and all of the receipts thereof are going to be able to be just thrown about the table. And then I'm going to be having my notifications turn on to you to see what in the hell you believe about whether the angels have been encamped around Jakes at this point, or what the hell the T is how the T is teeing.
Make sure you got your bells on, your bell notification on.
Because, baby, I got a feeling that if T.D. Jakes' ass is found guilty of anything, that Mr. St. James is going to be up on his platform talking about this is a gross miscarriage of justice.
I want justice.
And that he still don't believe Kamala's still his president, baby. It's been voters fraud up in that damn courthouse. Man, I just got a feeling.
It's sacrilege.
I just got a feeling this James baby ain't going to accept no guilty verdict.
No, I will. You know, if it was somebody else, you know, being in this and it wasn't him, I think I would have a little bit more stock in it, Conscious, but I just can't get with it. Like you said, yes, people can come in and out of the courtroom, but these folks at the end of the day will plead the fifth. They don't care if somebody said, I saw you there. I don't recall. I got in an accident 4 years ago, and my people are going to come up with whatever they need. I don't think people are wanting to really support his plight as much as you think they do, even though you say they're going to.
No, I'm on your side with that. I think that Duane is a piece of shit, and I'm even just upset that his ass even took to social media to even say anything at all, because I think he is a deplorable as human being, and I don't think that him speaking and quote unquote being honest, you ain't being honest when your T already outside, baby. Your mugshots and your registration is available to the public. You ain't being honest about a damn thing. I think this whole thing is a manipulative. I am not team Duane at all, and I don't even believe that the people, because Larry also said on his platform that some of the people that Duane is going to bring into this lawsuit, bring into his response, are people who already have stated they don't even want to be involved at all. Duane's going to in anyway.
He's going to have a hard time. He's going to have a hard time. But some people were saying, I like what someone else said. They said that maybe he has some other stuff he ain't told. What? It needs to be about him, though. Don't come in there talking about other stuff you heard or you saw about other people. If he didn't tell it on Larry's show, he ain't got it. And
Larry has already said too that there are no receipts in the Duane Youngblood story. There are none. He ain't seen none, and Duane and Alicia have none.
Why did Larry have that man on if he can confirm there was no receipts, though, Conscious?
Well, from Larry's perspective, Larry said that this was really centered around Youngblood just talking about his own experiences and being trafficked through the religious community as a young person, and talking about being a abuser himself, and Jakes just happens to be amongst that, but it wasn't supposed to be grounded in that per se. But of course it's Jakes, so you know it was going to be emphasized.
Yeah, Duane wasn't going to get the clicks. Jakes was going to get the clicks.
But see, the thing, like I said, the superpower that Duane has in this case, though, is that if people don't pussy pop and people respect the courts and people do what they're supposed to do on that stand,
we ain't seen as much pussy popping as we gonna see.
We ain't seen. Yeah, look, like I told y'all in the beginning of this commentary, that it's too early to call it, right? I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
how this thing gonna
it's
play
early.
out. Yeah, because
It's early.
I think that Jakes is literally trying to size it up to see to see what's going to be in the best interest of him. And obviously, like any person who has things to lose and the truth may not be on your side, like Jakes may decide to opt out, depending on how much he's able to extract from his attempts to subpoena and cipher information about who's who and what's going on and what the situation is. Because see, Jakes is the one out here desperate for information. He the one seeking, and I'm telling y'all, St. James, y'all need to pay a deeper attention to that. Why is Jakes clawing to get access? I mean, I know you've already said because you just think he just ready to put a lawsuit on everybody's head top, but the other argument to that is Jake's ass is trying to size up this litigation to see if these people have anybody that he knows has real tea on him, and to decide if it'll be in his best interest to then not move forward with this thing. Because those conversations are already going on about him.
Lee Williams says problem is though that I can tell that Larry Reid ain't what Jakes wants. Do you think there is somebody bigger? Or I know you're saying that there may be some people around that may have some real tea, but you think there's somebody bigger than Reid, that he wants?
Yeah, I'm aware of some of the other John Does who Jakes is thinking about, and some of those people, yeah, because but that's the thing, Jakes, and because of that, I know exactly why Jakes is trying to figure out, because there is tea to be discovered. That there is tea to be discovered and discovery, and that tea is not going to be well for Jakes, but Jakes is trying to be sure. Jakes does not want to call anybody name yet and risk agitating the wrong people and have the ass jump out of a damn twin tower
right
on top of his head top. He is trying to make sure that he knows who's who, so he can line up his defense, and even if he's even going to push and move forward. Hey, Pam, the law intellect.
Pam, you know it all. She knows.
I don't know nothing, Bishop, baby.
She knows it, Bishop.
Send them damn summons to Pam and to St. James.
Don't send me nothing.
No, don't come up over here, Miss Jakes. Okay, I ain't got nothing
Don't
for you, baby. But
nothing.
Because baby, that ain't gonna work out well if you come pooching your big ass, your big back ass over here, T.D Jakes. Okay, honey. Okay.
I'm running. I'm getting the hell out of here. I don't know nobody. Send it to Conscious.
But a lot of us feel like he's fishing, including Pam. Like Pam's, her takeaway from this was Jakes seemed to be fishing, baby. Jakes is fishing.
Yeah.
But
like I said, I think he's
he casting that rod, baby. He's trying to figure out if it's sharks, if it's lions, tigers, or bears, and out in that motherfucking water.
But I still stand on my assumption that he has some real good intel that he needs a little bit more oomph to it to really put the pieces together. And that's why he's fishing.
So does that mean that his shit gonna fall flat if he doesn't get that on?
I don't think so. I think they're just really trying to make sure it's ironclad. I think they have a couple of different ways they're going to take this thing if one way doesn't seem to work out. I just don't think these attorneys and this law firm is a one-trick pony. I think they're looking at many ways. And the only reason I say that, I mean, come on, it's Jakes.
It's Jakes.
You can't get a fly-by-night group of attorneys, that is just looking at things one or two ways. I think they looked at things 5 ways or more before they even did the complaint to make sure that they would be successful. So I don't know.
Dazzle says, "Oh, what if he's doing both?"
Say it again. What do they mean by that? What are they doing both?
He's trying to do everything that you're saying and everything that I'm saying. Trying to do both hands.
Well, yeah, I think it may be a fishing expedition, but it's not a fishing expedition and you don't already have fish in the bucket on your boat.
But we already know like what Jakes is trying to base his foundation for fishing off of, because it's all in emotion. It's just the things that he's claiming Larry said.
Well, Larry has said a lot. Larry has said a lot over the last year or so. So they have plenty of the words that Larry has said, how they want to put them together, and under
And
their
that's what they better
understanding and belief
and
is
that's
up to
what they
them.
better and that's what they better be careful when doing.
Right.
It's how they put it together, because it's context for
Yeah,
what
how they put it
say.
together
It's
is
context for how
yeah.
people put it together. And Larry, and if it said in the video, Larry gonna be able to prove the actual context. And see, and that's why I believe that. Can't you see, St. James, that Jakes has not officially listed Larry? And you got to think about the deeper implications of that. Like, what in the hell would Jakes be so of? Why is he so timid? Why he only toying with the situation? If he got Larry by the balls, if this is as clear and open and shut, if this is all this, and they got Larry's quotations in the tribute, if it's all that, what they waiting on? You got to look a little bit deeper.
We're trying to assume that they don't already have some real good stuff in the bag already. They threw us a loop, they threw us off with this discovery, rushing for a discovery motion. There is some things that they already net, and they probably could have already implemented him if they wanted to. But I just think they're really playing chess and making it seem like they don't have much. Judge, can we go figure out what we can
Can't
get?
you see though, St. James, that Larry already done played chess, which is why they can't list his ass officially as
Well,
a
that's
defendant.
true
And
too.
Jakes,
Like I said,
and Jakes
they know.
Jakes knows that he don't got shit on Larry, which is why he need the courts to green light getting all up in Larry's shit. Because based upon what they have, they know that they don't have no real legal claim. They're trying to get in his business so that they can develop one if there's anything there to develop a real claim off of. But based upon what it is right now, they know they ain't got shit. That's why they need the courts to grant them an expeditious discovery and green light these subpoenas to Larry. And Larry knows. Do you think, okay, because you arguing for Larry, I mean, you arguing for Jakes, I got to argue for Larry. Do you think
Why am I arguing for Jakes?
Baby, no, baby, no, baby, you litigated, baby. You litigated today, baby. Oh, yes, ma'am. You litigated your ass off, baby. You was trying to top for Miss Jakes. I ain't mad at it because I like that. That's, we need the both sides of the argument. But, once again, like I said, do you think Larry is stupid? You don't?
No. It goes back to my
Larry
point.
has made his fair share of mistakes. He has definitely learned from those mistakes as a public figure. And Larry knows that T.D. Jakes would be on his ass. That's why he made sure to speak with intention. He made Will
you agree to this? Will you agree to say that some statements that Larry made, he came back later and said allegedly?
Such as what?
Or repeating what?
Such as,
I mean, there was a statement that he made that he people from Jake's camp contacted him. Then later he came back and said they allegedly was from T.D. Jakes's camp. What have you?
I haven't heard either one of those statements.
Oh, you haven't?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying I've heard him. I've heard him say things and then come back and then say allegedly after they had already been kind of said without an allegedly. I've just heard some say, and I don't. It's not about me going back and marking them all down, but I know that I've heard some things and then later heard allegedly. So my thing is, again, I don't feel that Larry is naive or dumb, or I think is very smart, and I think that's a reason why they're moving how they're moving, because again, they don't care about Duane. They care about Larry and the people around Duane who they feel are responsible for the money ask. That's what I think. So they don't care. But they know that they're not dealing with the Duane Youngblood. They're not dealing with a St. James who, I ain't been in that kind of situation. They're dealing with somebody who is versed in this type of litigation. So they have to move a little differently than they would other people. Not saying that they don't already have what they need, or not all of what they need. They may have about 60 to 70% of what they need, but they want to make sure that they have all that they need before they actually name him. I don't think they're scared to name anybody. I think they just putting their ducks in a row. Wants to do, like Mari says, a smooth hit.
Yeah, because I've been arguing that. Well, I mean, I'm arguing that they are trying to be exact and precise, but maybe not for the reasons you believe they're trying to be precise. Because you really do. I mean, yes, you are on record saying, yeah, nobody is fully clean. But the reality is, you do believe that Jakes is cleaner in this situation.
No, I'm not even gonna say that. No, I'm not gonna say that. It's not about who's clean and who's cleaner or who don't have as much. I would say he according to the law, he's cleaner than Duane.
Of course, yes, definitely. Very, I'm sure.
But I'm speaking of how we look at a figure, the figure that he is, and who he's been in America, in the world, and what his character has been in the public eye. I'm not talking about the private. I'm talking about what we're seeing. So in the public eye, he's much cleaner.
For sure. But see, that's what's going to be, because a lot of people are just like, well, what does it matter with Duane bringing in all these other people? Y'all got to realize, if this is going to go to trial, what they have to do is convince a jury of human beings. And that's where all the character witnesses are going to make a difference in terms of who comes out a winner in this case. This is going to have, because this is one man's word for another man's word, right? Both of them only have their words. Both of them don't have any objective, like Jakes can't prove he didn't try to kiss this boy or didn't even call this boy the next day, but neither can Duane prove that Jakes actually tried to kiss him and then caught him and all this. So because this is one man's word for the other, their case is going to be heavily relied upon character witnesses and who can build the most convincing argument to establish a pattern behavior on either's part. Either Duane, a pattern of behavior as a liar, a convict, a manipulator, a money grifter, an abuser, etc., or in Duane's case against Jakes, a pattern of miss sexual conduct. And that's why he's going to need all the key players, because it's just going to help to corroborate and convince a jury pool that more than likely this is true.
Pam said she's shocked. She'll be shocked if it even goes to trial.
Who said that? Pam. Oh, Pam. Mm-hmm. Pam says you're gonna be shocked, Pam. Why? You'll be shocked if you go to trial. What makes you shocked, Pam? Is it you don't think that Jakes is going to allow it to go that far? Or because, baby, I'm thinking this thing gonna round up in mediation real nice. I think it's gonna be a real nice tie-boat mediation. And then that's going to be that, because I don't see it going to trial either. Not if T.D Jakes' ass is smart. I don't see it going to damn trial. Let me drop the link for Pam in case Pam want to scoot up. Let me see, because, that chat down there limited, child. If you want to hit the link, Pam, the link for you, but you can come up and talk about it.
I don't see it going to trial in regards to if it's just Duane. But if it's others, I can see it's a possibility definitely of trial. That's if the defendants don't.
But the defendants ain't going, but we ain't going to know that, right?
They might cave.
Yeah, until the courts respond to Duane's complaint. So but that's why he got to load it up, because if he want to get Jakes by the balls, if he wants a settlement or he wants a mediation or he wants this thing to go away or whatever it is, or he do want Jakes' head, then he better load it up, because that's going to establish whether the courts are going to finally say, okay, yeah, this thing is going ahead. It's going ahead. Duane may opt out of responding altogether, and it may result in a default.
Because I've had that theory
Mm-hmm.
also. I've had
Yeah.
that theory. He's gonna, but I don't think
Because maybe the day, because of St. James, the days are counting down, and we ain't got a
they are.
response yet. The
They
days
are.
are counting
But
down, because we only 6 days out.
my thought pattern is he doesn't respond because he's already kind of flipped.
What you mean? He kind of flipped. What you mean?
He's kind of maybe talked about some things regarding that money. Maybe he's given them some information that if he gets a default, they don't really come after him, but then they go after other codes.
Wait the fuck up. Are you saying that you think? Do you think that Duane might have put a Judas on Larry?
It's a possibility.
I didn't even think about.
Shut up! You thought of that. It's a possibility.
I did not.
He is a convicted, felon.
Oh my God!
What he got to lose?
Think about that. Pamela said his brother said last night that he is prepared to respond. Okay, see? So Duane
did say that. Richard did say that.
He got a village. He got a village behind him. Because the brother was also supposed to do an interview with Larry. So they're gonna be doing these interviews in court, apparently.
And again, the brother, his blog, his deal is Jakes was trying to get me. He wanted me. He didn't do anything physically, but he wanted me. That's his story as well, Richard's. He's been saying it for years in his blog, and he's never said Jakes did anything physical to him. So again, we have these brothers that everybody in the world wanted. The whole church, all the bishops, all the elders wanted. But now, because they were wanted at that time, they want 6 million. That's what I'm saying. The response is going to be interesting if he does one. Of course, it's going to be padded with absolutely nothing that has to do with Duane Youngblood and Jakes.
Of course not.
Absolutely nothing.
And his attorneys but isn't that fair, St. James, since Jakes filed things that were unrelated to the specific claims? He filed about all of Duane's criminality and crime.
As I said,
and everything
you can't
else.
tell nobody how to fight. I can't tell Jakes and I can't tell Duane. Now, is it going to stick? I don't know. But I can't tell you how to fight. I can't tell you what to put in your response. You can put in the bath water, the bubble bath, the sink, kitchen sink. You can put in everything. But it doesn't mean that it's going to fly. But fight, brother.
Yvette says Duane's brother went on his podcast and said he was going to respond. And from what I understand, he is going to respond. But I mean, the response window is closing. It's a narrow window now. I mean, he got 6 days to get his response together. But considering how he's going to jam pack this, I'm also not surprised he needs all the time in the world to get it loaded up, because it's a lot when it comes to Jakes. And y'all gonna see what the alleged a lot is when it comes to that complaint.
So his strategy is just pretty much trying to just damage the character, making Jakes fly out of the gay closet. And that's the strategy I guess he'll use.
It's going to be bringing in people who have stronger cases than him when it comes to alleged sexual dealings, grooming dealings, violation dealings with Jakes, which is going to help Duane's plight.
And that's cool. That's cool, Conscious. But when we really forget all that and we focus on the main thing, and the focus here is what he said that Jakes did and said to him. This is the main thing about the 6 million. He didn't ask for $6 million because other people came to him and said that they were supposedly groomed by Jakes. He asked for $6 million because of the hug, the missed kiss, I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your life, him in a bubble bath, and making him read a scripture at the church. All that information that he said that was done to him, non like essayed or anything. This is what he wants $6 million for. We can talk about all these other people. We can open the Pandora's box. We can, but it still has nothing to do with why this man requested $6 million, or he's going to continue to do interviews and talk more about Jakes.
But see, Jakes, but I think that's why Larry was saying on his platform that this wasn't smart of Jakes, because Jakes knows that this is how the way the courts are set up, that's what it allows, because people have to defend themselves. And when it comes to one person's word against the other, yeah, you got to bring in all this other corroborating circumstantial stuff when it's just one person's word for another. That then defaults it to everybody having to bring in their grand witnesses. And Jakes knew that coming into this. So, yes, it's going to steer away from the middle. And it may end up resulting, right, in Duane Youngblood getting favor legally in a situation that still wasn't true, just because he was able to be better convincing to a jury about the probability that Jakes also tried to religiously groom him, etc. And then there were alleged threats out of Jake's camp toward Duane, which is also what led to them trying to mediate outside of court and all of this. It's just so many
did the threats come before or after the demand letter? No, let's break this thing down here. Did the threats come before the demand letter for $6 million or after?
When Larry, because me and Larry spoke in our interview, I don't know if Larry said, because I think I asked Larry in our interview, was it before or after? Probably after. No, I think before, because apparently it was the threats that led to Duane trying to, then acquiring Tyrone Blackburn. So apparently, according to Duane, the context is he was threatened by members of Jake's family, and then that's what led to Tyrone Blackburn.
So he did, but they didn't go to, he didn't have his attorney to go to the police. I'm being threatened because I'm telling my story, and I'm being threatened as a survivor of grooming. So instead of going to the police to tell their story that he's being threatened, he allows Blackburn to send a $6 million request so they can stop threatening him. Give me $6 million so your people will stop threatening me. This sounds weird.
Give me $6 million so that I can stop telling the truth about you that's resulting in your people threatening me. Because you're only giving me an incentive to continue to tell the alleged truth. Now that your people now threatening the fuck out of me and all this, I'm not putting up with this. And if I got to put up with it, then I might as well keep telling the goddamn truth. If you want me to shut up, then pay me to shut the fuck up.
Well, and it's interesting that they asked, where did the amount come from? Why that particular amount? Why did what you said you experienced warrant it? Did they include the threats? Where did that $6 million come from? Now the complaint they just say that it came just after the demand. It didn't say any in the complaint. They never mentioned anything about him being threatened.
I mean, of course, Jakes ain't gonna acknowledge any of his people threatening Duane. That's not. I mean, like, why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense to
well,
do.
I mean, if it was a lie,
why would he incriminate his people?
My thing, if it was a lie, you would say that the defendant or the states that they were being threatened by the family of Jakes. So that would speak to why didn't you go to the police instead of asking for money because you're being threatened? So it's just really weird to me. I'm just saying.
Look, all of these are grounded arguments, right? These are the arguments that Jakes is going to be able to make in return. And these are the situations that also are going to justify why. Because once again, right, we're talking about, because you can argue that plight for any alleged victim, right? Why go civilly instead of go criminally? I mean, unfortunately, we are a society that I guess is
It
accepting.
may be statute of limitations too, but yeah.
Well, and it could be no statute. Well, I mean,
Well, not for threats though. Not for
yeah,
threats, because it's a
not for
recent
threats,
threat.
and I don't think the statute of limitation would run out, considering that all the stuff is happening kind of on one timeline. It ain't like we're talking about
Mhm.
threats from 20 years ago,
Right.
I guess, but threats that took place after alleged podcasts and stuff got done, or whatever the case may be. And you're probably going to hear a lot about this in Duane's complaint. I would assume that he's going to put the whole
What is
threat
wrong
and
with
everything.
Brown Mama 3186? Baby, what's wrong? What's wrong, baby? We're just having a
I want you
conversation.
to lay a warm cloth over her.
Is that what it is? Somebody go get the prayer shawl and wrap it around her shoulders. Tell her she's loved. We're just having conversation, babe. We don't know answers. We don't know the answers. We're
Right.
asking, and no, we can't.
Yeah,
ask
we're only speculating, Brown. It's no right.
going
It's no
off
right
of
or
what
wrong
was in
here.
the
It's all
complaint,
speculation.
We're
It's
going
all
off of what was in the complaint. Jesus, she gonna attack me going,
says, why ask
coming
you
and
to be
going.
Duane, since you need to know something.
Jesus. I'm sorry. I don't mean to,
Miss Brown is on
ruffle
your neck.
Duane's feathers.
Miss Brown is on your motherfucking neck, baby.
Ah, Jesus. Y'all make sure y'all support Consciouztv, y'all. I see his Cash App. I see his Zelle right here. Y'all make
I
sure
don't
y'all
have no
support.
Zelle, baby. I ain't got no damn Zelle.
Oh, is it PayPal? Oh, is that
Yeah,
PayPal?
PayPal, yeah. Baby, Miss Brown said.
Man.
Okay, but so somebody asked CTV, Gloria says, do you think there's a chance that as good of a Lifetime movie plot that would be, I don't think Youngblood is working with Jakes. I don't think that Jakes, I don't even believe that Jakes want to be in a situation at all. I think that
I'm
going to live
convinced
his
that.
life as it is and not have to deal with no type of bullshit. I don't think he would initiate conspiring with Youngblood. Well, unless you're asking, do I think that conspiring might be happening now? Like, could it be that now all of a sudden happen? Like St. James was alluding to earlier, that now for Youngblood to save his own ass, he is in the background, just like he was in the background without Larry's knowledge, conspiring with Tyrone Blackburn to get that damn $6 million.
Exactly.
Very well, Youngblood could be selling Larry out, and
that's a possibility.
And that just is so Judas.
It's a possibility. So I'm telling you,
that is so Judas.
He don't have, like you said, there's his name is mud anyway. He ain't got no alliances with nobody. His face is all over the world as an offender. So I mean, now he's up against Goliath, and he it was a bad rock that he threw, and so why not flip? Why not start talking a little bit over to the other side? Because like I said, they don't care about Duane Youngblood at this point. They know he's foolish. They know the accusations that he said is foolish and won't stand up in court. There's no proof. There's nothing that really happened. They know that. So the deal is, let's get to the nitty gritty of this money. And where did that come from? Tell me a little bit, Duane. Come in again. Let me hear something. Yeah.
Duane, child. Oh, baby. But I guess what's going to dispel all this, right, Saint, is if he responds. If he responds and we get a legal response, then I guess that dispels that Duane is conspiring with Jakes against Larry. If he responds. So if he don't respond, I think that does open up a larger conversation, and there may be more now, there may be more fruit to that narrative. But if Duane does respond within the next 6 days, and he does have to the 26th, then yeah, he's not conspiring against Larry Reid.
Rumor that he has a question,
but I do think that Larry needs to be very because he did say earlier on that he's not going to be talking to Duane during this whole thing, and that might that might be why. It's because he don't want to, just in case, because since he already done kind of been hoodwinked, because he found out that they've been trying to get money from this, from old boy, he might just be trying to make sure, that like Duane not, Duane is gonna be able to put him in a position to be sold out. So he's being very tidy on that. Rumors and T says, St. James, do you think Larry put Duane up to attempting? Okay, so you would want me to highlight that damn question.
I was just.
You would.
I don't want to run from a question.
You ain't want to take no questions from Miss Brown Mama, but of course you would.
Well, she didn't have questions. She had statements. You know, she had statements. Do I think that Larry put Duane up to? No, I think if there was anything money, he was already hawking a book. You know, he's already an offender, so it limits his ability to, you know, navigate money in certain ways. He doesn't. If anything, I'm not going to say anybody, because you can't really put grown people up to nothing. You know, we have our free will of doing what we want to do. I'm not going to blame it on Larry or blame it on anybody that said they put him up. No, your name was on that demand letter. So it don't even matter at this point if anybody put him up to it. He did it. Now, Jakes believes there's a whole tribe of Judas behind him. And that is what remains to be seen.
Dazzle says, are the accusers doing this for Youngblood or Reid? I don't think the accusers are doing this for either. I think that and that's why I keep reminding y'all, the accusers are going to be subpoenaed. They don't really have they're not even able to make a personal decision, because as Larry said, some of them already have said they don't want to be involved in this shit, and yet Duane is going to suction them into this. So if they get subpoenaed, you know, they ain't really doing this for Duane or for Reid. You know, they just are responding to the courts, you know, and doing what they're being asked to do. So
at this point, once it gets into this, it's, you know, they got to respond to subpoenas. Now, what they say on the stand is what they say on the stand. They may say what needs to be said, or they may plead the fifth, or do whatever else, like we've been saying tonight. We don't know. We can't tell people how to respond, and they're going to do what they want to do after they've been subpoenaed. It is what it is.
Okay, so people were saying earlier on, St. James, that it was some content creator that you was wishing the downfall off of. Is that what Brown Mama is also saying? She said, this is not what you said about Larry, so why change now on CTV channel?
I've never said that. I've never, ever. So you're not going to bully me and make me convince me that I said that. I've never said that, you know, he was the reason. I read documents. I read the documents, and this is what under the understanding and belief, as they said in the document, this is their theory of the podcaster, not mine.
So is there a content creator who you was praying on the downfall out
on the channel? Never.
No.
What benefit would that do for me?
So that you ain't never got to get their notifications ever again?
I could just turn them off. Just turn them off and don't go over there. What benefit is that for me?
All right, the people just
if there is one, they probably subscribe to me and to them. So what? I don't get no benefit off of it. I probably already got them as a subby. So waiting for somebody else's downfall or as a content is stupid, because they probably subscribe to both of us.
Why do you think people? Because I'm assuming that you believe that people have a misunderstanding of the same. Why do you think there's such a misunderstanding around St. James and St. James intentions and St. James energy? Like, where do you think the misunderstanding comes from?
Is there a misunderstanding? What do we?
Because you've been damn. Because you've been knucking and bucking the whole time you went so clearly.
Listen, I don't expect everyone to like my commentary.
But why do you think they don't? Like, have you ever said back and been like, what the fuck is people problem? Like, why people? What do people have a problem with exactly?
I would be a fool, Conscious, if if I was trying to convince or felt bad that everybody on YouTube or social media didn't like what I said or how I said something or had an opinion in a certain way. I would be a fool to try to convince everybody to be on my bandwagon and to listen to what I say and like it. I'm not like that. I understand that there will be people that don't like me. They don't like my voice. They don't like what I say. but there's also people that appreciate my opinion. They may not even agree with my opinion all the time, but they appreciate my opinion, appreciate me speaking freely. And I can go on anybody's platform, still believe what I believe, talk with sense, don't down them, but still have a conversation with them, even if I don't. Now, there's some people that I don't want to go on their platform because I don't like their commentary. And hopefully, I'm sure the people that don't like me in this chat, they probably don't go to my channel. That's fine. That's life. That's YouTube.
I mean, I may be speaking too soon, but I feel like you're probably one of the least problematic.
Listen, if you asked me that, I would say I was, but
I mean, I do know you're messy as hell, but
So
you know, I mean, who not?
who doesn't want a little mess, a little shade?
Right.
Would
So
you-
I say, you know, who not really? I mean, who not? Andrew
But it's
says the
fine.
misunderstanding is the fact that most people see you for your works.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Then do not come to the St. James show. We good. We
Okay.
good.
Well, we finally got one good compliment.
I like see Clorinda.
Compliment St. James, this is the time to do it, baby. Okay, we were like a balanced stream. Okay, if there's anybody who want to compliment James, you leave the compliment
Is there one in the building?
Yeah. Clorinda says, I appreciate St. James because he does his thing with class and maturity. Now, isn't that fly? Isn't that fly, child?
Okay, what room is it? TCC? I keep it a buck. You know, you are. You said keep it a buck.
Yes,
Solidarity because of who's
support us on Hold No Punches, child.
Listen, no, you listen. I may not like who he associates with, but that don't mean I just flat out don't like the person. I may not like what different people associate with, but that don't mean I like the person. I don't like the person. Okay, when I was associated with William, you were still okay with me. I would come to your chat and we were still cool. So it's not that. It's really not that, y'all.
Because I know you really didn't like that hoe to begin with.
No.
I knew it was transactional to begin with, baby.
Well, you know, a lot of
I know you were doing what you had to do for your click and your views, honey.
A lot of things are transactional here. People, let's not be naive. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, you know, things have changed apparently between you and the wig. Where are you with you in the wig?
He's over there and I'm over here.
Is there any chance for reconciliation?
I don't hate William. I don't hate William, but my thing is there was something really negative said about my mother. He also said I asked him to do something that I didn't ask him to do. He said I asked him to host my mother's birthday dinner and I did not. I can host my own mother's birthday dinner. I asked him if I told him he can come since he was in the Bay Area at that time.
Now, my question to you is why in the hell would you want Wig to meet your mother?
Well, the funny thing about it, and it's what I told him. One day we were driving, I was listening to William, and we were going to dinner, and I picked up my mom, and I was listening to William. She said, "Who in the world is that?" She found him entertaining.
Lord God bless her. Well,
she found him entertaining, and so it happened.
He was having so yeah.
We were having a birthday, and we had our birthday party in San Francisco.
And you wanted him to come and be the court gesture and the clown for your mom.
No.
What a gig.
I told him he can come to the dinner. And then it turned out that I asked him to host my mom's dinner. I'm like, that's no way. That didn't happen. But if that's the story you want to tell, then run with it. But, I'm like, I just don't need that kind of drama. It's not necessary. It's not necessary.
So with him lying on you and him making disparaging remarks about your mother, is there a chance for reconciliation?
I don't have a deep-rooted problem with William. When people, as they say, when they show you who you are, just believe it. And if you can navigate and if you can deal with it, then you can deal with it. But you always have to deal with it with your eyes open. But I don't want anything off of William. And that's been the narrative as well. When I start, but I also give William the props because I didn't get the visibility on social media. I know people in in the industry and all that other stuff, but I wasn't doing this YouTube stuff. But when I hopped on Williams Live a few times, people liked us talking. They liked the way we would kind of go back and forth. I wouldn't be always in agreement with him. I would kind of keep him steered in the right direction when we're going in the conversation. So people appreciated our conversation when we talked about different churchy things or different pop culture or whatever he was talking about. So after I started seeing people, so I said, "Oh, I like when you're on there with them," and they were like, "You should do some more commentary." So that's what pushed me a couple of years ago to even start blogging. So I would put our videos on YouTube, and it got some traction. So, and if you want to say I clout chase, okay, well, okay, if you call that what it is, but it was a genuine.
I mean, I feel like it was fair game because
Yeah,
I mean, like, a McWig is not the girl that she used to be, so she's also doing her fair share of clout chasing as well.
Right. And that, like I said, things are transactional around here. It's just life.
Very.
Yeah. So and we had a good, but then one day, I was blocked and I said, William, I texted him, I said, hey, I think I'm blocked. Or who's blocked? And he said somebody that was working on his team or whatever must have inadvertently blocked me. But then eventually he did say that he had blocked me because he felt that if I wanted to be a blogger, then I should have came to him and he could have introduced me or presented me out as a blogger. And I was like, oh, okay. But then we squashed it and that was it. And we were continued. I think after that, we ended up going when he came to San Francisco. We went to dinner. We had a nice time. That was that. Yeah.
You actually had to watch food go into.
They're asking that you take it off of subscribers only mode in your chat. I don't know why.
Who asking that?
Somebody sent me a message.
Okay, well, tell that somebody that I said. And that's exactly why I got it on, so that they ass never underestimate.
Just sit there and watch.
So that they ass never underestimate what type of show I'ma have that they may want to comment on. So now they know better, and they know to have their ass subscribed, so that they ain't got to miss out on their future show. And let me ask you this: since you done been bit twice by a snake, do you still believe you can successfully dance with them?
I'm just not interested. I'm not interested. What I said, I don't have a problem, but I'm not interested. Conscious to be truthful.
I mean, you say that, St. James, until you get a remorseful email from the snake.
No. Well, and listen, I think
all of a sudden it's St. James and friends again.
No. I think reconciliation is always good, but that doesn't mean you have a relationship. Reconciliation is fine.
Will he have to also apologize to your mother?
God, I don't take it that deep. My mom don't really know him like that. I just thought it was very insensitive and very disrespectful, being that you knew me.
And especially since he don't have one.
Well,
very disrespectful.
I love my mother and my mother loves me. So I take it kind of personal when someone that hasn't done anything to you and you use that as a as a read or as a get to me, and it's just not necessary. They said it's extortion for subs for you to put it on subs only.
All the more reason why they don't have to have their ass over here participating in the extortion, because I definitely seize the kingdom by violence, baby. And I am apologetic about it, sugar.
You joining this church over here. That's what you're going to do.
Because see, Miss YouTube gives me the ability to extort these hoes, okay?
Right.
YouTube gave me the extortion ability, okay? So she got to write to YouTube and take that up with Miss YouTube, baby. Because we're doing just fine over here and about extortion of subscribers. I work way too hard to let folk play in my face.
No, that's right. You run this how you want to run it.
Any option YouTube give me gonna be utilized for the great and gain of the Consciouztv phenomenon, baby. Oh yes, it is. Oh yes, it is.
But going forward, it's like people can continue to say that you got what you had off of them, what you got off of them. But there comes a time where you have to produce on your own. So you can say that people got where they are because of you, but not really, because once they fly out of the coop or whatever. They have to survive.
Exactly. And that's why I'm so glad to say that I'm self-made, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Self-made, baby. I was able to grow with and without and with folk all over again, baby,
You've
because
helped
I got
people,
the juice.
and you've helped people get to thousands, and you know,
And did. And I know that them hoes hate that they got to testify to the truth. I know that they hate it too, baby.
You gotta take what you know. You
Not
gotta
only
give
did I create
honor.
enough for me, I created enough for other people.
Right,
Give
right,
me
right.
yes.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, no, reconciliation is always cool, but relationship is a whole nother level.
It is a whole nother level.
So yeah, I don't just be turned off
So
to
the
that,
bone carrier does have morals and ethics and principles and business.
despite what your chat said.
I ain't mad at the chat. I ain't mad at it.
Ooh, they hate
Mad
me, boy.
at it.
Mm.
Yeah, I ain't never had no problems with St. James personally, child. So, you know,
Mhm.
ain't never been no issues, honey. We've always had acute correspondence, and it's always
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Ain't never been no problem, child.
yeah. I
Yes.
like your I like your style. I like the way you know,
You better.
your thought process and things. I'd be like, oh, that's I
And
never
keep
thought
this in
about
mind,
that.
St. James, I'm always right. So I want you to make
Bless your
room.
heart. Bless
I
your
want
heart.
I want you to make I want you to make room for all your windmilling the Jakes and consider, okay, baby, CTV ass.
Listen, I'm gonna oil up my windmills and I'll be back.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
because I'm a damn sure send your ass a stream y'all link, baby, when it goes up. Bring your ass right on back over here. Saying, let's talk about the show. Well,
They're gonna say, oh, this one is back. Oh
for real.
Lord.
The bone carrier, girl. Tell these people where they can find you at and all of that good jazz.
I am at the St. James Show here on YouTube, also on Instagram, the St. James Show, and on Facebook, the St. James Show. But please come and join me. Give me a click and a view and a subscribe. And also my secondary channel, which I am the prelate of the Carnal Church Sector. We also have that page on here as well. So make sure you are subscribed to both of us and come visit the sanctuary. Thank you, Conscious. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you for coming up. I'm glad you clicked the link, child. You gave me some opposition to work with, and now we see who got the best of the narrative, honey.
We shall see.
We shall see.
All right, y'all.
All right,
Bye.
boo.
Bye.
Bye. That was the St. James, y'all. That was a key. That was good. You know, we needed that. We needed that, child. Y'all know I'm one of the only content creators, baby, that everybody fuck with over here, including the ops, girl. Ain't that about something, child? I love CTV because he reads people that need it down to their spinal cord. Oh, man, let me tell you something. It's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of that for 2025, baby. Let me tell you, let me tell y'all something. Is it just me, y'all? I don't got no patience no more. I can't, like, I don't have no patience. I don't have no patience. I don't have no tolerance for foolishness. I don't know whether it's something about, I don't know if it's 40. I don't know if it's just maturity. I don't know. I don't know what it is, child, but I just have a don't play with me spirit. I just have a don't play with me motherfucking spirit. I have made myself so proud of myself. Okay. You guys don't understand. Like, I think we was at 40. What was that? 40, what, 44, 45 or some shit, bitch. I got to 50K by myself. We ain't do no interviews, no nothing, baby. You know what I'm saying? I turned around and then after setting myself up as a triple threat, baby, and showing what I'm capable of doing on my own self, turn around and then reverse type 2 diabetes, baby. I know what I'm doing. Can't nobody tell me a motherfucking thing. And folk gonna treat me right. And that's on period. Because, baby, I come into everybody's life with the glory. And I'm just not gonna deal with nothing less than that. I have accommodated mediocrity my whole life. I have shrunk myself to make other people big. I done all type of shit, baby, to accommodate the foolishness. Okay. And I'm done with all that, baby. Okay. I'm happy. I'm gonna make you happy, and you're gonna make me happy, whether you like it or not. Okay, because baby, life is too short, and I just don't have no time. I'm too good. I'm too good to folk, and at this point, I'm just as good to myself. So I'm telling y'all, we are living in peril. We are living in in peril times, girl. We are living in some dark ages, and y'all better have y'all aluminum foil hats and y'all propeller hats on, because we're gonna be living in an age of deep truth, but it's also gonna be deep myths, deep smoke and mirrors, deep lies, deep, just deep, baby. And if you're not deeply discerning, and if you don't have your bar set high, and you don't have your relationship to yourself set up the way you need to, baby, let me tell you something. You're going to get swallowed up, in the words of Jakes. You're going to be swallowed up right with Jakes, baby. Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up, baby? If you don't get your shit together, you are going to be swallowed up. This is the time to work out your soul salvation, girl. We got shit in our skies. We got drones, UAPs. We got a fucked up government. We got a narcissism epidemic. We got a violence epidemic, girl. We literally just are living in an upside down Twilight ash reality. Y'all got to center yourself. It is going to be a mess out here. It's going to be a mess out here interpersonally. It's going to be a mess out here when it comes to families. It's going to be a mess out here just when it comes to everything. And if you are not gripped up, baby, in self-alignment, baby, this thing is going to take you up out of here. Y'all have got to set the bar high for yourself. You've got to be intentional in your living, and you have got to indulge in very, very deep self-awareness. But more importantly, fear not. Fear nothing, honey. Okay? And stay strong, child. Yes, CDB. I turned my diabetes around to on period, you bet on period. I'm so proud of you, boo, because we amongst the minority, girl. We amongst the minority, child. There are a lot of us who have reversed this diagnosis, but we still a part of the minority, baby. A lot of folk are living and dying and coping with diabetes, baby. But fear nothing, child. Don't fear no motherfucking nigga. Don't fear no bitch. Don't fear no motherfucking relationship. When you know who the fuck you are, you know what the fuck you bring to the table. Fuck these niggas, and more importantly, fuck these hoes. Fuck them. Know who the fuck you is, and don't let nobody talk you about your spot. Don't fall for no narcissistic ass tactics. Don't fall for no gaslighting, no motherfucking manipulation, baby. Just observe and adjust and adjust and observe, baby. This was a grandiose show. We're gonna keeping you guys updated, child. Soon as that goddamn soon as that response goes up, girl, we're gonna be right here on the Consciouztv platform getting into the things. I'm gonna be right here ready for y'all asses on Christmas, baby, because he may drop that thing on Christmas, girl. Okay, I'm gonna be locked and loaded, girl. Y'all tell me what y'all think below. Shout out to St. James, and I will see you all later. If y'all enjoyed yourself, once y'all know what to do, honey. Okay, throw some coin on the cane, honey. Throw some silver and gold on the motherfucking, because we be working over her, honey. We be working. $sign Consciouztv on Cash App and PayPal.me/Consciouztv on PayPal, spelled just how it is here on the screen, on the banner. And we will be coming back tomorrow getting into all the Jay-Z shit, Tony Buzz B shit, girl. It's a lot of fuckery and foolery going on every day and well, right? So I'll see y'all later. Bye.